Howdy, howdy, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great, fantastic Tuesday. And we are here. Blake's sick, but he's got 4 unboxings. So there you go.
That may be a new record.
Yeah, we got Jen G is in the house. She has an unveiling this evening of something that's actually very, very cool. We've got Mitch in the house. How you doing, man?
All right.
And we've got Ali in the house. How are you doing?
I don't know. It depends on what you guys are unboxing or unveiling.
Well, we're unveiling a lot of stuff that you'll hate. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you might hate some of them.
Well, I just hate. Are you calling me hater?
No.
Step 1, put your junk in the box. Step 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Reveal the box.
It doesn't fit in boxes anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
we're glad everybody's here tonight. Yes, sir, Mr. Blake.
Oh, I was gonna say I do have the redemption because we did talk about how I did not wear my Bell & Rosses despite me loving the brand. So I am no longer a Bell & Ross owner, and that is how
You are no longer a Bell & Ross owner.
Right.
So is this like finishing puberty?
What's that? I guess. Yeah, I guess. Graduate.
Dang, for the jugular.
Or did you see my Bell & Ross owner, Vermont owner, Hublot owner, Atelier One owner jab last night?
No, I didn't. I've been kind of like in recovery.
Okay. I did. Somebody contacted me about that. I burned my bridges with Vermont very, very badly, apparently. Somebody contacted me about the joke.
I'm sure you're upset, aren't you?
I'm not happy about it. I think. I mean, I gave them feedback at multiple interviews when they requested it.
Okay.
And I made a joke. I think the joke was clearly a joke, but I guess jokes at a certain point when you hit industrial grade sperm extractors, they cross a certain line. I guess.
Yeah.
So,
that's all right.
We're just trying to be helpful for Christmas. I mean,
no, I was like, these were gift options. They were the best prices available for those particular units.
Yeah.
There was somebody at Bremont that contacted you?
No, it was actually the folks at Vermont have stopped talking to me a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It was one of their original ADs before they opened up the actual boutique in New York.
Huh. Okay.
No, Vermont itself stopped talking to me a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, considering you're putting out now, I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Yeah, you didn't do much damage. It sounds like.
No, I mean that's the thing. It's really odd. Anyway, continue. We're not at the Vermont bashing portion of the show.
That's true. That'll be later.
We've got to work our way up to that.
Everybody in the audience, there's 1920 viewers. Remember, we're starting the show a little bit earlier than normal shows. Go to the other streams, tell people that Robert and his crew are live, and then everybody drop a hello in the chat so we know who's out there at least. So when Robert goes and starts greeting people, he knows who's out there. When I can see AB's there above Hotep. I see Lonely Wrist, which is Blake. He's there. But AB, we learned that AB, he collects watches to avoid having more children.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant strategy.
Right. Another thing we learned in the group today.
Yeah. Remember the WhatsApp group. These are the type of things you can learn is how to avoid having 20 children. It's by buying a lot of watches.
Yeah,
effective birth control.
You buy
new birth control technique.
Bad watches or good birth control. That's what you get.
You buy
this is true.
Get a Cubanist. Buy 3 Aquaterras and you're all good.
Look at this. I don't know if you guys know Kelvin. You guys know Kelvin?
Yeah. I did, and then he left.
No, he didn't leave.
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, let's try that again. Hey, man. How are you, buddy?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, we got you. How you had emergency surgery recently, man? Are you all right?
Yeah, a few days ago. They removed a bodily organ.
Oh shit!
Jeez.
Well, who'd they remove it from, and why did you punch somebody that hard?
Someone else would have been nice. I was meant to see Blake next week.
Yeah,
and it's not going to happen. And my missus is not into watches, so she's not going to follow it up, Blake.
That's okay. That's okay.
but I was
I'm
supposed
here.
to fly out to Vegas this morning. She's already in the air, and it's not happening because I can't fly, given
Yeah, no.
surgery a few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, surgery. I mean, a lot of surgeries. That's the way. So actually, so Mitch and Jen, do you guys know Kelvin?
No,
Don't believe so.
Okay, so
Only,
this is
I know them from this channel, but they don't know me. Only the
yeah.
oldies.
Robert and Blake know Kelvin though.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I've never
we're
met
good.
him
Yeah.
in person, but yeah, I've been
Well,
on.
no,
the stream with
I
him.
haven't met him in person either, but he is. So this is great, and I wish him a speedy recovery. But this is still funny as shit to me. He's clearly Australian. If you didn't figure that much out,
yeah.
No, he's
No.
a Kiwi.
yeah.
No.
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 So
Them
but
fighting
he's also
words.
he's a professional. He's a professional DJ,
Okay.
country music line dancing DJ
Yeah,
Oh wow.
in Australia. Right.
Wow.
It's the funniest damn thing I can think of. Anytime somebody, well, the first time he told us that, I thought he was pulling it, and he showed us like he's got
Right.
the chaps and everything. So all right, so Kelvin can't visit Blake, which I mean, I would probably have surgery to remove something if I had to go visit Blake in Las Vegas.
He did a piece of Blake.
That's-
Okay.
That's more a reflection of
There-
Las Vegas than Blake, though. Just to be clear, that's more of my feelings on Las Vegas than Blake. So, but I don't have a kidney to spare anymore. So, dude, wishing you a speedy recovery. But
Yeah.
Yeah, rest up.
I saw that the other day, or you said that to
Right.
GMT the other day. That didn't sound good.
No, it wasn't good. It was a little bit get it out or else. And so made the decision, and an hour later I was on a bed in pre-op, and the decision to go to Vegas was off the table. There was about a couple of hour window to see if we could find a replacement, and that's not easy and sometimes not allowable to get a
Right.
replacement.
Mhm.
But my sister-in-law, who has traveled with my partner so many times internationally, took about half a breath and said yes, and she's accompanying her currently on Delta in midair at the moment, and waved goodbye to them at an ungodly hour this morning, Sydney time.
Oh gee.
And
So you're
they're on their
saying
way
you're a
to
bachelor and alone for a few days.
There's nothing about a watch group up with strippers happening in the next few days at all. The truth of that rumor isn't absolutely guaranteed at this stage. But
Clearly, you haven't
yeah,
told
that's-
Mr. GMT yet, because if anybody can make it happen,
oh yeah, he's almost as far away as Blake is from me. And people don't realize how big Australia is unless they've studied. But our country fits across the United States of a country with very few spaces.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's great.
traveling east to west is like traveling from your east coast to west coast. North and south from Mexico to Canada is the same as traveling from Mr. GMT's place down to Victoria, where Diamond Tide and stuff like that is located. So it's a big country. People don't realize it. And it's a great country, but it's a big country. So thank you. You got the heads up right there. Look at it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yes, not many spaces.
yeah, it's really funny that you brought this up, because my nephew, who was just over 3 years old, I was explaining this to him, which he clearly didn't understand. But he was wondering, we were going to hit this book, and the book covers Greenland. And he's like, Greenland is huge.
Mhm.
The site. And
Yeah.
Greenland, and I started dragging Greenland, and it got stupid small really fast, and he got really upset about it.
The wonders of the Mercator projection. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
Well, what makes Australia seem even bigger is if you're flying across it long ways from east to west, west to east, there ain't much in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's unlike the United
True.
States, where there's plenty in the middle. There's nothing. All the
well,
population.
yeah, I mean, the
centers are
population
really
of
along the
Australia is
coast.
the population of Chicago. That's the thing. The whole of Australia
Yeah.
is the same population as Chicago. I tried to search for
Yeah,
Ali's
that's
ego, but it wasn't
26
there.
mil.
And Bubba Hotep's elephant collection. It's not there either. They don't have that. It's a true size.
Yeah.
90% of our population lives on the coast.
Yeah.
And, we have the largest amount of beaches in the world, when some countries don't even have one. They reckon it'd take a couple of years to go around and just hit each one every 10 minutes sort of thing around our coastline. So we are distant from watch collecting. It does make challenges because we are so far away. And when I first started, I was buying lots of stuff from the US and Europe, and until I developed some relationships and contacts locally and nationally, and through chats like yourselves, and now I can buy off Jody Musgrove from Just One More Watch, and I've been to his house and picked up a watch. He's going to come for lunch one day and
good.
have a visit with our watch collecting group and show us the new wares. So I got in pretty deep pretty quick. Ali remembers the early days before JJ had a channel, when my collection was shown on another collector's channel, and JJ was a guest on that channel. I think maybe Ali yourself maybe was a guest back then.
Yep, that was a long time ago. Absolutely,
it's probably 5, maybe 5.
Probably it's at least 4 years ago. Might be 5 years ago. Might be like right at the beginning.
It was in COVID, when suddenly I had a truck being at my place, every day or two doing a delivery. I do a radio show as well. Robert, I know you did radio.
Used to, yeah.
Yeah, I did community radio locally out here. And now I do an internet radio show that is full of line dancing news from our country. And a lot of it is just local music, international music, local and international choreography. And plus I'm a school teacher, plus I'm a DJ, and yes, a bit of a watch fanatic, to say the least.
Well, and I don't know if people know how big country music is in Australia, but it's massive.
Huge.
What's interesting is I recently found out. So barrel racing is being done a lot here recently because of the World Equestrian Center. So that which is not too far from me. I found out that Australia and Brazil are the two other big places where there's rodeo and barrel racing, and along with rodeo and barrel racing is line dancing. I didn't know that about either Australia or Brazil. Like Brazil, there are championship barrel racers that are moving from Brazil to Texas and like competing instantly at the very top rankings. And then I guess somebody from Australia is like moving to Houston. Like it's news in those circles. So it's huge in Australia, Brazil, and then the southern, the not just the southern US, because northern US, but barrel racing, rodeo, and line dancing. And it's big enough that a company called Teton Ridge has a movie coming out with starring, I think, Bella Hadid. Is that her name?
Yeah.
And they bought a couple of channels, and they've got like pay-per-view events and streaming subscriptions. Like it's much bigger than I imagined.
Yeah.
And the conglomerate that owns like most equine things and a couple other things, and the relationship with Longines is apparently very lucrative. It's bizarre. So yeah, Kelvin being a line dancing like DJ has just blew my mind, and now it turns out that it's actually super common.
Yeah, and I don't know how long you've been around the radio there in Australia, but I used to know the guy who did the country music show on Radio Australia back in the 80s named Brian Bogle. And he was a really good guy, but he's the one who kind of explained to me how huge, even back then, country music was in Australia. That I certainly didn't know that, and I don't know if a lot of people knew that, how big it was.
It's ridiculous. And currently on this trip that go to Vegas, and Paul Blake's going to be inundated with literally tens of thousands of people. It's Country Christmas comes to the Strip. So George Strait, Garth Brooks, Little Big Town, Chris Stapleton, are all in town.
Wow.
Trish Yearwood for the week, the National Rodeo or World Rodeo Finals, Blake. Yeah,
Yeah, that
we
I
had
do
a
know.
day. Yeah, we had a day or night there, and then I go and play for my leave, and my boss. I just heard the word Las Vegas. She says, "Yes, can I help you?" I said, "I'm applying for my some holiday leave during school hours, and which I've got plenty." And she says, "Oh, I'm going to Vegas in December." I said, "I'm going to Vegas in December." She is leaving tomorrow. My boss, the principal
Wow.
of the school. She is, I keep on saying former barrel racer. She is taking it back up again at 60.
Oh, wow.
And she was an Australian champion as a younger lady. And she's taking it back up again. And she's going over for the event. And not to compete, but to just to take it all in. And it's exciting. And I'm just going to have FOMO and watch Facebook for all the pictures. And they've already FaceTimed me from the airport with everyone that knows me getting on the airline and said, "Wish you were here." And my sister-in-law is the luckiest person in the world because she got clearance within 10 seconds and he's taking my place. And yeah, so at least my partner has got someone that she likes and loves to travel with her and not a stranger, and we didn't lose $1 million on a trip over. But I don't get to meet Blake in person, so I don't know what the biggest loss is.
Next time.
It's still the organ that they remove. The biggest loss is still the organ.
Yeah.
So you just work on recovering. There'll be other opportunities to meet Blake. Blake's been worldly gallivanting. I don't know what his frequent flyer mile status is, but maybe he'll come down and see you. So anyway, I was super excited to see Kelvin. I also was worried about his health status, but I think I derailed your introduction to the show, Robert. So
no, it's fine. No, I'm very happy that Kelvin can join us tonight and stay on as long as you have the strength to stay on. You know.
Yeah, I do get quite tired.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know because I've had that kind of emergency surgery before where you go into the hospital and they check for one thing and it's like, oh, and this happened with my bypass surgery. I had gone in for a very simple test and it's like, you're all blocked up and you need surgery now. And 2 hours later, I was in an operating room getting a quadruple bypass. So I know all about that stuff, and that is not easy. That kind of surgery, emergency surgery, especially when you haven't prepared mentally for it. It's not easy to get over.
I went in with food poisoning, I thought, and just a big crook and nauseous and whatnot. Then all of a sudden, you've got a 1 centimeter by 2 centimeter, which is an inch by half-inch gallstone, and then inflamed gallbladder and bacterial blood infection. Okay. And I'm arguably one of the oldest people on the screen, but I just look good. Now, I know Mitch. So, Robert, you just turned 60 something the other recently.
62. Yeah, 62.
So I'm older than you. I'm older. I'm definitely older than Ali because he's not that old.
No.
So Mitch, are you hedging in the 60s?
I mean, I'm 68, so.
Okay, you win by a couple.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm older than all of you. You just don't know it. I age well. Mm-hmm.
And Jen, what state are you in currently at the moment? Are you Tennessee?
I'm in Ohio.
In Ohio. Okay, I was in Nashville last year for one of those music trips, and went to Texas. Went to Fort Worth for a couple of days. I picked up just one.
I'm sorry.
Austin's a little bit better than Fort Worth, but you know.
Yeah.
Listen, we love the old style, the old school Fort Worth with the longhorns coming down and the all-you-can-eat ribs and Billy Bob's. Come on, it's hard to beat.
You have to go to Billy Bob's. If you come to Texas, you have to make a stop at Billy Bob's. You really do.
We did more than once.
Yeah.
Now, I certainly invaded an unboxing show. Who's the lucky duck?
Well, we've got an unveiling from Gen G, and we've got Blake, who's got, you ready for this? 4 unboxings.
Yes, off.
Yeah.
We've got
Kinda.
a $2 super chat from Hot Watcher. He is the first one in the race tonight. Did someone say unboxing? Let's see.
Mhm.
Well, folks, let's see some upvotes. Let's see where we are on upvotes right now. We'll do the unveiling first, and then we'll get into Blake's unboxings. But we've only got 13 upvotes right now, and we're also kind of waiting for the franchise club people to arrive.
Mhm.
So as
Curly
soon
had a
as
stream going? I didn't know that.
he did, but he was linking to us, and
Okay.
so I'm not able to see if he's still on, but I know he was linking to us, and we only have 24 watching right now, so I'm assuming that his link has not kicked people over yet, because he had
He
about
is still live at the moment. He is still live at the
Okay.
moment.
yeah, so he's going to kick over to us. I'm assuming around 8:30 my time, 9:30 Eastern. So we'll wait until then to start with the unveilings and unboxings. And
we got
of course,
Nate.
we got Nate in here.
Oh,
Upvote
my
now.
So, are
Absolutely.
you familiar with Noctua Watch Company?
Which one?
Noctua Watch Company. They're in the chat. I thought they might be a friend of yours or Blake's.
You know, I've seen they've been in our chat before. And I'm not sure if I've seen them or not. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
So, well, here's the thing: is that I'm confident I've seen their logo. So I'm
Mhm.
wondering if somebody had talked about it before. They're based out of Canada. This is a Seiko NH35 movement, or NH38 in this one.
Yeah, 38 for the no date, right?
I don't know. So I thought they're not your friend or Blake's friend.
You know, I think they may have come over with the Trap Vision viewers, if I'm correct.
Oh, yeah.
And they have this no date field watch style too here.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like the owl logo. That's neat.
Mm-hmm.
The whole dial is loomed. It's like an
It's a
inverse
full
situation.
loom. Yeah.
Wow.
What do they got there
All
on
right.
the inner rehot?
On this
Like-
one, I can't quite tell. They're just indicators, nothing. Oh, it looks
Yeah.
like they do have. No, they have symbols. So the symbols, there's pi. I don't know. The symbols must mean there's looks to be a little owl there. It must mean something.
Oh,
There's pi. There's theta. There's one of the That's a kanji character, I think.
kanji. Yeah. They said it's
Mhm.
kanji in the chat.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
no,
cool.
I mean, is it all kanji? Because
Yeah.
that
That's
looks
what
like
they're
pi to
saying.
me.
No, they're saying it's kanji.
Okay.
Is that the kanji for 45 and 50 and
Maybe that looks
Yeah.
like.
Oh, that would
Wow.
be kind of cool.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a plus minus symbol, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, well,
did
these
too.
do look like
I did
plus
too.
minus, and then there's plus minus minus. So I don't know.
yeah.
Dash. Well, see, that's figured. So that to me looks like katakana or kanji. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely does. I have no idea what these
Oh,
are.
yeah,
so
that's
that
kan-
does.
it's kanji for 15, I think. If I'm not
Fully
mistaken.
bloom, black now. It may say.
In my extensive experience of learning kanji and speaking fluent Japanese. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
They're based out of Canada. They have 3 watches. No, 4. What the? Oh, this one's just a not full. Well, no, it's got a date. So
Yeah. So that would be probably NH35 since it's date only.
yeah, this would be an H35. All right, so you don't know them. They're just in the chat.
Yeah, I think that it's that they came over and Noctua remind me, because I know you've been in the chat before. I believe I was either last week or the week before. I remember seeing you in the chat, and I believe that you have are either are friends with or came from Trap Vision's channel. I'm thinking that's correct, but remind me in the chat if that's correct. And Collector Invest joins us. Robert, guess what? My answer to that, sir, is chicken butt. That's my answer. It's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Also have Noctua has some GMTs coming in January, so that'll be interesting to see. Yeah,
I
he comes
love
from
Mille.
Traps Channel. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, because I thought I'd seen them over there as well. So welcome. We're glad to have you. And you're coming out with GMT next month, and so is my friends over at Trafford. They're coming out with their GMT next month. I think we got pre-orders going now, and it's cool looking GMT as well. So there's lots of GMTs coming out. Not to mention Mr. GMT, who is not coming out of anywhere.
No, he chatted though.
If you pay a little bit of money, he'll jump out of cakes for you.
Oh, you think so? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if you pay a little bit of money, he will jump out of cakes for sure.
And so, yeah, we got Brother Clint is joining us. Hi, man. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Basil's Bezels is in here.
It looks like the franchise club did send over.
They just joined.
Yeah, I believe that is correct. So welcome those of you for coming in from the franchise club. If on your way in, please hit us up with some upvotes. We've got one unveiling from Jen G, and this one's going to surprise you. She can tell the story about how it came to be, but it's very cool, and you're going to like it. And then we've got 4 unboxings from Blake Ray. So come on in and welcome. We've got a 20 ARS super chat from GD.
From
Boo
the Peso Cannon.
Sent me here.
Hey,
Boo.
Hey, Boo Boo.
Hey,
From the Peso
Boo.
Cannon. All right, hold on.
Thank you.
Before Jen does her unveiling, thank you very much, GD, and thank you, Hot Watcher, for your super chat. But I'm sorry, dude. Collector Vest, you have to explain. You got raided. Was Hunter Biden at your place? What's happening?
I think he meant we got raided from the other
the
man.
franchise club.
I was
Friend,
hoping
yeah.
he got swatted because I wanted to hear that story.
They came for the junk drawers.
Law and Order Special
Well,
Watch Collectors
OC,
Unit.
if OC sent them, which he has sent people to the channel, thank you to OC as well. But thank you to Curly Mookie, OC, whoever sent people, and everybody who is staying. We're going to start some unveilings and unboxings. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Drop a hello so we know that you are there.
Yeah, absolutely. Doc Macon, Florida is here. Hello, everyone. Here from Curly. Fantastic. We really appreciate you guys being here tonight. So let me see where we are on upvotes. First of all, we've got a $2 super chat from your friend Mikey. Hope everyone is well. We are Uncle Mikey. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Let me go over here and see how we're doing on upvotes. We've got, 21 upvotes. Let's get to 25 real quick. And we're going to do our unveiling. 25 for an unveiling. And we've got $10 from P Cars. Thank you, P Cars. A super sticker. And I just saw what that was. What is it's a
fan dancing Shibuya.
Yeah. Okay. I was trying to figure out what exactly that was. I'm glad you're here because I had no idea. Thank you for that. You were in the race. But you're a man of unlimited knowledge and class. How's that?
No, that's a lie. I like that lie.
Yeah, I like the first part. Yeah, the first one was good. Yeah.
And as you can see on Jen G's picture there, that is her latest artwork that is for sale, the Daytona artwork. And you can go see that and a lot of other stuff, including custom dials and some other new offerings on her Instagram, Timepiece Temptress. I know that I've got one of those Daytona prints coming, as well as several other people have pre-ordered them. How many do you have left on pre-order?
I have 4 left at the $65 mark, and then they'll go up to $150 after that.
Yeah, so we've got. So if you want the pre-order price, there's only 4 left. So just DM her on her Instagram, and she will take care of you with those prints. And they're nice. I mean, it's really nice. It's cool. Very good. It is professional artwork, friends. So
I
Well,
do
I
this for a
mean,
living, so
that
it's,
is what
I'm
you do
not
for a
just faking
living.
it.
So
Yeah.
I've got a place
Yeah.
for it right here on my wall.
Heck
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we
Ready to
Mc-
go.
McLovin, I'm sorry, but we're not unboxing a fridge tonight. Just watches.
I only
Yeah.
wished I could fit one in, but when I've got 36 clocks on my wall in my office here,
Fair
Oh my
enough.
goodness.
Fair enough.
There's no
The,
iced out pieces.
We do thank the franchise club for sending the link our way. We've got 58 people watching so far. We hope you stick with us because we got lots of stuff coming up tonight. And we're going to check on the upvotes again, see if we've hit 25. And we have 27. So, Jen, let me get you moved over here
Oh,
and we'll get you
That
in the
would be
position.
great.
So tell us the story about this watch. Before you unveil it, tell us the story.
Yeah. So it was what, like 2 weeks ago, Blake? Something like that, 3 weeks ago.
That sounds right.
We were on after the stream, and Blake had gone and talked to one of his friends at a local jeweler there in Vegas, and they had a bunch of pieces that had been left behind from the people that had owned it before, I believe. Is that correct? They
Yeah,
had
that's
owned the
right.
place
That's
before.
right.
And so they had offered them to Blake, and Blake had picked up a few different pieces. And this was one of them. And it was basically just the movement, the dial, and the stem and crown. So I had to source a case, a strap, and a buckle for it because I'm trying to get all like original pieces for it that come from the company from kind of that era. So so I went on a hunt, and sometimes some of those things are really hard to find. And actually the hardest piece to find would have been probably the case, and I found that immediately. So I was like, yeah, I'm buying that. So I put that in my cart right away. And then I've been on the hunt for straps and stuff, and I found a person up in Canada that had buckles. And so that I bought a stainless steel one, and I bought a gold plated one that matches the case that I have now. And so, yeah. And then I've got straps coming. I have one already. It came yesterday. And then I have two more coming. One is an original strap from the company. So that's what I had been on the hunt for. I just couldn't find anything I liked. A lot of them were just, either black or brown, and it wouldn't work with the watch. So, but yeah, it's a fantastic piece. And when they sent the case, they actually cracked the crystal. It was just an acrylic crystal. But I was able to source a sapphire crystal instead, which actually works better because you can see the dial better with it. So
yeah, I gave it to Jen under the promise that she would bring it to its glory, because the dial, I mean, it's absolutely I would say it's one of the most beautiful dials I think I've ever seen.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not joking when I say that. So
yeah, photos don't do it justice. And today is really the first day I've seen it. I live in Ohio. It's gray all the time, but we actually had sun today. And I looked at it in the sun, and it is just, it's stupid stunning. Like, I can't believe it. And I've not seen another one by them that's like this. Because I've been trying to see if I can find anything comparable just to kind of get an idea, where to, price it if I ever needed to insure it or anything. And yeah, I haven't seen anything. And I know that they're a company that is known back in the 70s and before. A lot of companies would do custom stuff for people all the time because they were just trying to sell watches. So you would buy a model, and then you'd be like, oh, well, I would really like to have this style with it. Can you send it to the company and have them do that? And they would custom make a dial. Well, this one was I believe it was a custom made lacquer dial, and it's bonkers. I don't know how they even did it.
are you sure it's not stone?
No,
I-
it's
uh,
lacquer. It's
okay.
lacquer
Okay.
because of the way
Yeah.
it's sealed. I can see that. But yeah, it
Okay,
does look like
okay.
it's stone almost. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So, without further ado, the brand is what?
It is Universal Geneve.
Oh, in the news lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting that they popped up with the pole router and everything. And
Yeah.
I love the pole router. I've been looking at the pole routers for like the last year and a half, 2 years. Just because I think they're cool. They're similar to the Memovox too, which is another favorite of mine.
Right.
So yeah. So it's a Universal Geneve. And
which I thought was funny too, because when I got the watch, it was just the dial, the hands, the crown, the movement. And I was like, yeah, you're probably going to have to get this service. But before I sent it to her, I literally set the time on it. And like I came back like 24 hours later and it was keeping time. I was like, what the hell?
the movement is in perfect shape.
That's
It
crazy.
dead on time.
That's so
like,
crazy.
It's kept time for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, or since I've
Can't-
had it. And it's crazy. And it's
I know. I can't believe that. That's crazy.
So
so
let's see it. I got to see it.
so this is I'll try to get in here as best as I can, but my computer screen really
It's going to focus on your face unless you block your face.
Do you have your tabletop set up?
Yeah.
Or is it?
I don't.
Over. All right, hold on.
Do you have just send Robert or somebody the
left.
picture?
Yeah. Let me see if I can grab a photo and send it in here.
Yeah, send it.
I have
Send
one
it.
from the daytime because it'll actually look better when
that
I
looks-
I've seen that.
It's so this is the first time. I mean, I've seen it out of the case when Blake had it, but this is the first time
Right.
I've seen it in the case, and that looks tremendous.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. To give you an idea of how big it is, this is my thumb. This is the watch. It's
It's like the size of a
The-
quarter or something.
yeah,
32.
it's a 22 millimeter movement. Yeah,
Ooh.
the strap is a 10 millimeter.
Dude, that's got to be smaller than a quarter because
It's
my
a
thumb
nickel
is
size.
Well,
It's a nickel
yeah.
size.
Okay. Sorry.
So
yeah,
how
but-
does it look on the wrist? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I will take off what I have.
Well, hold on. Before you do that,
Uh-huh.
shoot over either through WhatsApp or something. Shoot over the pictures so we can pull those up.
Yeah. Can I drop photos in?
No, we'd have to upload them as assets, and you can't do that. So you can shoot them to me on WhatsApp, and I can pull them up.
So
Or
okay,
shoot 'em to
give
me,
me
either one.
Give me just a second here. Let me kill my camera so I can do that.
So she can focus. Yeah, I'm curious to see it in the light now because
Yeah.
that dial. I mean, I don't want to spill the beans, but like I said, it's like no shit. One of the most beautiful dials I think I've ever
Yeah.
seen, and it's the way it's patinaed in such a unique way.
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of like an aerial view of like an ocean with like waves crashing. Yeah, there it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
So that's just what it looks like outside of the case.
Yeah.
Any notion of what year?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I think it's like between 72 and 75.
Okay.
I think it is.
I have
There you go, Ollie. I sent you
huge-
the photo.
I have a UG project coming up as well. So I had another one, and it was a golden shadow, and all the parts are somehow stuck at the post box. I haven't, for whatever reason, I don't know why they didn't leave it. I've got like a lockbox where they can just put the shit in there, and I got to sign for it. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Wow. That
Yeah,
came
that-
out so good.
That dial
Yeah.
and that strap
So-
really
The
nice
strap
to
and
go.
dial, perfect.
Yeah, it worked out way better than I thought. But yeah, to see it in the light, and there's so much depth to it, it's crazy. Like you really can't catch it on film, or on camera. doesn't do it justice, but it is a fantastic piece.
So hold on. So
Um,
the dial came from Blake. The movement and the case you bought separately.
The movement came from Blake as well. The movement,
Okay,
the
so
dial, and the crown.
Was it so? The
and
movement was
stem
attached to the dial. The movement was attached to the dial. when
Yeah,
Blake
the
said
dial,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
dial's attached to the movement, hands, and crown for what I gave her.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then
all
you,
of
it
them.
looks like you brushed the hands a little bit, just the hands.
Yes and no. Like I didn't really do much to them. I just kind of made sure that they were clean, and then I just left it as it was because I didn't want to mess with it too much because I didn't want to like mess with patina or anything or mess up the hands because they're super thin. So I didn't want to like
It's probably
do too
smart.
much with it.
Very
And-
cool.
And
Camera.
the
You are
dial
getting
is
some
like-
congratulations from Bubba Hotep
you.
and you got Noctua, brother Clint, and then we also have Simon from Merciful Ignorance in the chat who joined the show last night. We got Kelvin who could just say it out loud, but he decided to type it. Old timey as well, and and Basil's another folks. So well done, Jen. It is
Thank you.
tiny.
Yeah, it's super tiny. So if you pull me up, I've got it on. You can see it.
It's like a cocktail watch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because you see the other watch outline impressed on her wrist, so you can
Yeah.
actually see the size
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
That's a 39 millimeter watch with the NATO band that's like 20 millimeters. So that gives you an idea of the size of it. It's pretty crazy, but it works. Like that's the wild thing is like the size still works. It doesn't matter what size your wrist is, it still makes sense.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, like when it gets that small, it doesn't really matter. Like it just fits because it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I was
crazy.
going to say, even though it's small, it makes a statement of its own
Right.
on the
And
wrist.
if you see it in person and you look at that dial, you're like, people are going to take a double take at that dial because it's just
Yeah.
it's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the bottom. Like that to me is like I said,
Yeah.
when you're looking at an aerial of like waves crashing, like
Yeah.
that's the vibe I get. Like it's so good.
And it almost looks like a
It's-
peacock feather to me. Like when you
A
see it in
peacock feather,
person.
actually. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
I
peacock
could
It's got
see
that
that.
is-
kind of like a striation to it, but which
Speaking
is
of
why Blake
waves,
thinks it's like a stone dial because it almost does look stone, but
Yeah.
I believe it's lacquer when I
I'm
look
not
at it.
sure.
speaking of waves, though, you just reminded me of something. And Undone Watches is a grade 2 titanium special edition watch.
Mhm.
But they a Great Wave museum piece watch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
If
That's
this dude, if they made the same thing in grade 5 titanium, and I wasn't like beyond dead broke, I would buy it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But grade 2, so the difference for those who don't know, grade 2 titanium is just pure titanium. Grade 5 titanium is an alloy which has some aluminum, some vanadium, but grade
Okay.
5 is harder and easier to get like a finish on.
Okay.
Grade
Yeah.
2 is theoretically more like corrosion resistance. So grade 2 will be on certain nautical applications,
Okay.
right? But grade
It's
5 is
closer to like the pure
significantly
ore
like,
too, right?
yeah, it's supposed to be pure titanium, but it's softer. It's like notably softer than grade 5.
Right.
So like it will get dinged up like
Yeah.
a lot. But
So
yeah,
is
the
this-
wave, I thought this was a nice
Yeah.
little release from Undone.
So did they PVD coat the titanium there because it looks blue?
They must PVD coat the titanium.
Yeah. And you've
Yeah, because
got-
I don't think it's blued like De Bethune does. Like that's where the money comes in.
Well, no, I mean because to be honest, if it is grade 2 titanium, they may be able to blue it like in very low temperature.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a pretty
IP
cool watch.
blue
So-
case, so that's the process Casio uses. So it's not quite, it's similar to PVD, but not quite the same.
Right.
Okay.
I wonder how
Anyway.
it'll hold up.
I'm more worried about it being grade 2. I think the finish would hold up just nicely if it's the IP type bonding. It holds up very nicely on Casios, but grade 2 titanium is so soft that you're gonna.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily trust it.
You'd
So
scratch it up pretty easy.
in any case,
Well, that's
I
a good
don't
looking.
let-
That's a good looking watch. Though.
I
like
just
that.
want to
Yeah.
pull that up since Jen just talked about you guys. Blake just
Yeah.
talked about waves, but I like the peacock analogy better for Jen's. Jen's style.
But yeah. And thank you, Blake, for gifting it to me.
You're
It
always
Yeah, I
gets
have to,
welcome.
like,
worn
not
and
say
it will
s-
be
I have to s-
enjoyed.
I have to be nice to Blake for like 7.5 minutes. Well done, Blake.
Record time. Record
No,
time.
it's like this is difficult, man. I don't like this.
Don't let it become a habit.
So another watch out of that group that he got that include the Universal Geneve was the Seiko alarm watch that he sent me.
Yeah.
So he was very generous with that stuff, and I've shown that on the panel before, and it's a cool watch too. I mean, it's has the real alarm in it, the manual alarm, and it vibrates your wrist like crazy when it goes off. It's very cool, and it's loud too.
Yeah, you said you wanted or were looking at one of those.
Yeah, I was looking at one of those.
And I just I've got all this shit I never wear, and I'm here in Vegas and I go to all these watch shows and things are gifted to me, and it only makes sense to re-gift them, it really just does. So
yeah.
Well done.
A Bellmatic, Blake?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, Seiko Bellmatic, and that's also I think gold plated or PVD.
It's a gold plated. Yeah, it's gold, and has a brown dial, gold plate, and I replaced the strap that was too small for me with the bracelet that was too small for me with a leather strap, and it looks great. And it's in the other room, or I would show it to you, but maybe I'll bring it on next week so folks can take a look at it. It's an awesome watch.
Yeah.
I was trying to give Cap the golden shadow, but he started kind of I don't know if I'm gonna restore it. And I'm like, okay, well, you snooze, you lose, Cap.
Once you get it restored, you can gift that to me too. But no,
we'll
I'm
see.
just kidding.
Because I spent almost $400 on a case.
No,
I got a dial coming in and hands.
That's something you need to keep because those watches are awesome.
Super thin, it's like a 6 millimeter, and it's just beautiful.
At the time those came out, the golden shadows, white shadows, so on and so forth, those were the thinnest watches, the thinnest automatic watches out there. Yep. And I don't know if it was the first, but it was certainly one of the first with a micro rotor movement.
Yeah,
I was reading that. They use the micro rotor to keep the thickness down.
Right.
Yeah.
And Universal Geneve at that time in the late 60s, early 70s was known for their thin watches. That was their thing.
I've been trying to find resources about it, because I think so. It was a golden shadow with the dial, but the seller where I got the case, he literally is in Switzerland. He's like, hey, I got the hands, I got the dial. It works for your movement. Right. And I'm going to swap it out with a gilt shadow dial. So, and I've got the hands and everything. And he was going to send me a strap, but he wanted another $400 for the strap. And I was like, maybe I'll just try aftermarket strap for later. Cause, it definitely
you can find UG
it.
straps online for fairly reasonable too.
Yeah, I kind of wanted something accurate, so
you're right.
$2 super chat from the ghost of Yiddish Gambino. Well, for $2, when he says, "Geez, how come I don't get any cool watches, Blake?"
You have more cool watches than the entire panel combined.
Yeah, if you guys are in the WhatsApp group, right? Scroll up a little bit and you'll get 2 treats from Yiddish Gambino. One is he actually does clean up real nice. It's actually funny as shit. So he comes on our panels looking like a fucking bum, but he cleans up really well. But you also see his Infinity Gauntlet freaking watch case of Cartier.
I know, right?
One line of Cartiers. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So lots of good pictures in the WhatsApp group from people.
And so he's saying he's restored a white shadow. So if you have any questions there, Blake, he is your man.
Definitely gonna have to hit you up.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of concerned about changing from a golden shadow to a gilt shadow. I don't know, because I cannot find anything about the golden shadows, and especially in that weird egg case shit movement or whatever.
All right. Well, have you gone to the official archives of Yiddish Gambino?
I haven't. No, I didn't know such existed. So
no, it's called the official archives of Yiddish Gambino. It's a Florida landmark.
Okay.
Ah,
Alright.
yeah.
I
Yes,
will,
it's one of those roadside tourist stops.
It's right next to the Jeb Bush wanted to be presidential library.
There you
Oh
go.
God!
I heard that you get a free watch
It's-
every time you go.
To the
It's,
Jeb Bush
oh, wow.
Unwanted Presidential Library, or to the Yiddish Gambino Archive?
The Gambino, the Gambino,
Either way.
Hall of Justice, whatever you want to call it.
Oh my God, the Hall of Justice. I
Hall
love
of
that.
Justice.
Let's
Oh,
see where
that's-
we are on
He
upvotes
doesn't-
here.
No, dude, we're getting to the top of the hour. We got to start with the unboxings, upvotes or not.
Yep. So we got 30 upvotes. Let's do the first unboxing, Mr. Blake. We'll get you into position.
should we do it cheapest to
There we
most
go.
expensive, or should we just do the reverse?
Let's
reverse
do
gaming here?
cheapest. Let's do cheapest to most expensive.
Do the reverse Gambino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the reverse Gambino is also where you pick up the watch, not drop it.
Exactly.
Oh damn!
I-
Shots
I'm-
fired.
I'm having
Nate's
to,
catching strays now.
I'm having to reach here.
What's the degree of difficulty of the reverse Gambino?
Yes. It's hard. It's difficult.
The first watch, you guys might. Well, I think. Ollie,
Is that a
you
fucking
might.
Invicta case?
Yes, it is.
No, it's Casio. Okay,
It's a Casio.
it looked like the yellow Invicta case.
No, none of that here.
I've got a
No,
hundred of those.
Kelvin's here.
Yeah, I've got a
Kelvin's
hundred
here.
of
There's a
those.
lot of Invictas here.
I don't have an Invicta. That's what I meant. So yeah, this came out like a couple weeks ago. I think we showed it on the show, and I'm an IT guy, and I'm a super Apple nerd. So this is the Bait
Oh, you got the bait. Okay.
and G-Shock collabo, which I never got a tracking for, but it showed up in my house like pretty quickly, and I was super
Gotta love that.
yeah. And then the guy who owns Undefeated also like reshared it when I posted it.
Oh, okay.
So he owns Bait as well. Which
So
you
if
can
y'all
see.
didn't know, Blake was a watch whore last week during
Yeah.
F1 week. So he's making his
Why are you just? He's a lifetime watch whore. He's a
Yeah.
watch slut. Why are you
This
saying
is
last
true.
week?
but
Yeah,
but
I
he's
mean, there's-
he's completely sold out this time.
I have.
He's getting the
Um,
goods now. He's got
so
a
he-
sugar daddy.
No.
Oh God.
I just threw
So-
up in my mouth. It's okay.
So here's the watch.
Now,
Which I
that's
think
kind
is
of cool
very
looking.
cool.
It's super
like
cool.
that.
It's got a gray on one side and white, and then it's got like a little
Dude, this is an
burn-
Apple too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
it's very
hell.
cool.
Sorry if you guys can't see the good
I'd wear
pic
it.
here.
You have to get one of the Captain Subby charging lights that can also be used for.
It has
Unboxings.
it has one of the backlights. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's the same.
that's one of the few ways you can actually see that negative display.
Yeah.
It's got a
Yes,
little
yeah.
terminator warning for us.
Yeah, it says
Yeah.
my GPT or my GPT drive is what it says.
Yeah, there we go. Terminator warning.
Yeah, I mean it's just a super cool little fun, and this is my first 5600,
Okay.
What?
which I know.
No,
Yeah.
the first 5600. So it's not a 5000. Remember, the 5600 is the like fitness tracker version.
Oh
Right.
yeah, this it says 5000. Yeah, it says 5600 on it.
Yeah, and
5600W.
yeah, and I think the case isn't the case slightly larger than the 5000. I can't remember if it's the same case size or not.
It's the
Um,
same case size as the 5000, as far as I know.
Okay, yeah,
So yeah, this is the cheapest that I got.
Very cool.
that's
I
super
lo-
cool.
I
I,
love
like
that.
the,
Nice
I
looking.
like the look of that.
Yeah,
I
nice
love
looking.
this. Yeah, this is super fun. I've already worn it a couple days straight. Yeah, I mean, I just can't. $150. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Vegas
Yeah.
in summer.
yeah. This is perfect for that. So that is numero uno.
And for some reason, Casio does white, and their resin white is better than any white out there. For some reason, I have no idea why, but it's awesome.
Yeah, the box is
Oh, and
kinda
I
cool, too.
apologize, dude. No. The 5600 is the battery powered. The 5000 is the solar powered. The 5610
okay.
is the fitness. Is the
56
fitness.
Okay.
Oh,
cents
we
of
got
fitness. All right.
Jen's face covered by a trait. Let me get Jen. Oh, sorry, Jen.
Yeah, I mean, you're not hurting my feelings here. I mean,
No, they're nice, dude. I mean, they're nice.
Yeah.
It's a good looking watch, dude.
I
Very cool
really am really happy with this purchase here. So
Yep, I got the
Just
black,
the right
black
amount of
on black.
quirky.
So let's get a couple more upvotes while we're waiting on Blake to pull out the second box.
all right. Well, yeah. I mean, I got all 4 of the or now 3
Hold on,
more stacked.
hold on.
up.
I'm sorry, Blake. I just after all these years, I just noticed something. Hangout, Mr. Unity, Hangout, plastic.
Huh?
So Hangout,
Oh,
bitch,
no.
ruddy, bitch, ruddy. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what the
I had
things
never.
are.
I had never.
Captain.
New York Drifter, Hangout, New York Drifter, Hangout, plastic, Hangout, bitch. I had never noticed that before. That's so damn funny.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Doesn't show up that way on YouTube, but it does to us on StreamYard.
Yes, it does.
Do we have enough upvotes to proceed?
Oh, let's see where we are here real quick.
Only if the panel says we can.
Yeah, we got 35. That's up 5 from the.
Let's do one
G-Shock.
more
So let's-
unboxing, and then we can go to the watch news and come back to the last 2 unboxings.
Yeah.
All right. So white box. During Black Friday this entire weekend, somebody in the watch club works at the Citizen Outlet, and they polled the entire group like, "Hey, we need some." Is that mine? G-Shock?
Nah,
going on?
that's mine, I think.
I was like, "Am I having like?"
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, so
Okay.
my watches will start alarming off.
Yeah. First 5600. I have a bunch of the 2100s, which is my G-Shock of choice. So yeah, they pulled the group and they were like, "Hey, look, does anybody want to help out at the watch store at on Black Friday?" And of course, people were like, "Hell no." So I felt like I had an obligation to help out. It was a Citizen Outlet. So in the Citizen ecosystem is Alpina.
Yes.
Ooh.
And if as a watch sales guy, and I've, obviously some of you guys know that I've sold watches. You try and sell your favorite watches, right? You talk about the shit that you like, you know, and you try and sell it. And this one didn't work out. I was just like, oh my God, it was 65% off. It was a beautiful watch. The finishing was absolutely like flawless. I think it was like $300,
Wow.
which is down from 1,000 is what it retailed for. And so I tried to show it, and I was like, "You should totally buy this," and nobody bought it. So this was my memento for working during that. And I sold almost 50 watches in 3 days.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So Alpina, and it is an Alpiner. Alpiner. Oh shit.
Yeah, I almost dropped it.
Let me take it off the pillow here.
Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with the people on these panels? Nate, Mitch, you guys suck with butterfingers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Got the clutch gene going.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, that's finished better than I would think it would be.
It's thin. I mean, the finishing is absolutely perfect. It is a little quartz movement, of course. But it's just the dial, the sunburst dial. Yeah, I mean, you just can't beat this. And so I actually bought this on my first day.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a watch to wear. I had to wear a Citizen brand watch. So
Wait, you had to wear a Citizen brand watch?
or no
No,
watch
you
at all.
chose to.
Yeah, or no watch at all. So
No.
watch,
Was that
or-
courtesy or was that a rule?
No, I mean, you either couldn't wear a watch, or if you were wearing a watch, you had to wear a Citizen brand watch.
Oh man, that's a surefire word to make sure that I never ever buy one of your watches.
No, I mean, I don't mind. I think, I ended up with this, and
Yeah, but I mean,
What's
could
the
you
water
imagine if
ticket,
other
right?
brands did that?
330. What's that?
Okay.
Could you imagine if other brands did that?
Oh,
Well,
I mean, it's pretty common in watch sales that you wear a brand that you sell.
I know if you work in a boutique, because
But
I
you
know
weren't
a bunch of
working
guys that
there.
work.
I was
You
working.
were
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
Oh,
No,
no,
he was
okay, so
working there.
I was
He,
working.
he
working
went
there
and helped
just for the
out for
event.
Black
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
working
no,
there
that's
for the
fine, that's fine,
entire
okay.
Black
No,
Friday weekend.
All right, that's
Yeah.
fine. If that's
And-
what you meant in terms of,
And they
Yeah.
they had a lot of good options. I mean, if you look at a Citizen Eco group, like Citizen Watch Group, I mean, you've got Alpina, you got Frederic Constant, you got Bulova. I mean, of course, Citizen, right? And yeah, and Le Joux Perret, they've been good to us, So yeah, that is my unboxing number 2.
Yeah, there's actually a Japan only Citizen that I've been looking at. I'm not going to get it this year, but I may look at it for next year, and it's one of their automatic, highly finished Japanese domestic market only watches. It's really good looking.
Is it one of the ones with the paper dial?
This one
That-
is not as high finished as the Citizen. It's still a regular Citizen, but the case finishing is very, very similar to their upper crust. So this is a white dial, but it's more of a white sunburst rather than the washi paper dial of the Citizen.
I think that was the pocket watch, right?
No, they do wristwatches with the washi paper dial. As well.
Oh, okay. Because I saw that
since we're
pocket
talking
watch.
about-
Crazy.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about well-finished Japanese products, I would like to remind everybody that if you Google for Toyota Mo, this is what comes up.
Yes,
It's still super, super confusing to me.
I don't understand that either.
You have to scroll a ways, and then where is it? Hold on. If you scroll far, oh no, is it really? Has he been bumped out of the results? There was a single. No, there we go. If you scroll enough, you will see one single Toyota Mo result.
There you go.
No idea who this girl is. It's
Mo
just
is a
funny
heritage.
as hell.
Toyota Mo.
Jeez,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Exactly.
It's Toyota
And
Mo
then
Plus. That's what I
it's
said.
fantastic.
Could you imagine going into a Panerai boutique and you're wearing a Patek and the security guard stops you and throws you out? No Panerai for you. Like the soup Nazi,
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way in my head, I'm not associating Blake with a Citizen employee, so I'm like, that's just not
yeah.
okay. But I get it. If he was working there for the weekend and he got one, that's fair
Yeah.
enough. So
Yeah,
Nate
I mean,
is observing that. By the way, I've been listening to Blake's podcast. Blake's podcast and his website is The Lonely Wrist. Blake can drop the link. And he does other stuff over there outside of the show. Has anyone else noticed that Blake sounds remarkably like Chris Griffin from Family Guy? And I can't unhear that now.
I've never heard that before. But no, when I started my YouTube channel, like people were so vicious to me in the comments. They're like, "Oh, your voice, and you've got like vocal fry and all this stuff." I was like,
Oh, people on JJ's, I think they gave up after the first 3 years, but for like 3 consecutive years, every first few comments on JJ's videos were, "What's wrong with that guy whispering? Why is he whispering?" Sort of thing. I'm like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. This is the way I am. So
Yeah.
Not your
Wrist
fault
flick.
you were born that way.
Yeah, that's a nice the Citizen. The problem is Citizen, all of their high quality finished stuff is still almost all of it is JDM. They don't sell a lot of it outside of Japan, which I never did understand. I don't know if they don't want to go the same route that Grand Seiko did, where that was JDM for years, but then they expanded it worldwide. I don't understand why Citizen doesn't do that, but they just don't.
I would not at all be surprised if in the next few years Grand Seiko reverts back, or they do another rebranding, something with Credor or something like that. Because Grand Seiko branding has just not worked well for them.
No, I mean, but again, you talk about Credor, which are absolutely gorgeous, but again, almost all of those are JDM models. You have to import them from Japan to get one of the Credors.
No, but I mean in terms of branding. I just have a feeling
in terms of branding. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
we're going to have a situation where Grand Seiko either has to rebrand or they're just going to roll it back because it's not doing okay.
Yeah,
and not for lack of trying.
gorgeous.
Watches of Switzerland spent 2 years. Has it been 2 years or has it been 3 years? It's been a long time since they moved Grand Seiko to the front directly opposite of Omega.
Mm-hmm.
All the boutiques where they can sell Omega right before, if there's not an Omega boutique close by. So they put it right there front and center. And they're not moving, dude.
It'd be interesting to hear what Teddy Baldassare, his numbers are on it, because he has Grand Seiko at the front along with Breitling, I believe.
Breitling.
He has Omega towards the back. So it'd be interesting because they did choose him to be one of their boutique shops here in the state, and there are not many of them. So
yeah, I mean, working in the retail space, like all that is up for bid, right?
Yeah.
Whoever's going to give him more money is going to be towards the front of the store, or give him more of a financial commitment. I mean, that's just it. So yeah, maybe they just felt like he was going to shill him, because when I sold Grand Seiko, they were at the back, right? And they were one of the last brands you saw. So
yeah, my experience is that, based on his advertising, he doesn't really aim to give discounts on anything.
Right.
Whereas most ADs on anything other than the brands we all know and love to kvetch about, you can still get discounts.
I've noticed a lot of brands are trying to pull that, right? Where they say, "Oh, no discounts," like we're putting our foot down. And the reason that they want to do that and they're trying to do that is, I mean, they pretty much for the past decade, 2 decades, 3 decades have been, giving us all discounts. There was times where you could, of course, get a Daytona at a discount and nobody wanted them, So, but what it does is it favors dealers where, like, me from Vegas, I'll order a watch from Florida or from a dealer in New York or wherever, right? Because whoever gets the best deals, like, they pretty much capture the market. Obviously, we all know that we're all price conscious here. Like, if you can get the same watch for cheaper, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah.
So,
right.
But yeah, I don't know if we could ever get away from that model, because these brands also make you make these huge commitments where they say, hey, you have to buy $300,000 in inventory to have XYZ brand on the door. And then they're sitting on $300,000 worth of merchandise that they just backdoor to Joma, like they're creating their own problem here. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think if I walk into a store and I've got, say, $7,000 or $8,000 to spend, and I've got Omega on one side and I've got Grand Seiko on the other, chances are pretty good I'm going to go get the Aquaterra or the Seamaster, Speedmaster, or
I would expect that
maybe two over anything in the Grand Seiko catalog.
So I've owned one Grand Seiko. I own the Beast Below Special Edition 60th. I was shocked at how much I liked it in terms of visually the finish, which you expect, right? I don't think the finish definitely wasn't that level where, like, the shiatsu polishing, like, it was unparalleled. It was a very good finish, but it didn't feel particularly unparalleled. But what I hated about the damn thing, hold on, I'm pulling up a picture real quick, was the damn bracelet. Every Grand Seiko I've ever had on my wrist, the bracelet feels wonky. It feels like what I would expect an homage watch bracelet to be. It's finished very nicely, but it's not fit very nicely.
Is that titanium or is
it is titanium? Yeah.
Yeah, their titanium bracelets do feel kind of iffy.
But on their steel bracelets, it's the same way. There's just these strangely loose tolerances on the bracelet.
I haven't noticed that on mine, just personally, but
maybe it's the dimensions of your wrist, Ollie.
One thing we need to
there we go.
One thing we need to guard against, and I'm as guilty of this as anybody, if not more so, is that being crazy watch collecting nerds, we look at purchasing watches in a much different way than the majority of people who purchase watches. The majority of folks decide, well, I've got X amount of money. I'll go into store X, boutique Y, and it says that this watch is $2,000. And they just, okay, I like it, I'll buy it. Whereas we go spend an awful lot of time trying to get discounts and looking at, retail networks versus gray networks and all of this stuff. And my understanding, and I could be wrong, is that the vast majority of watch purchases are not made by people like us.
Yeah,
it's
true.
hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, and back to Robert's point, like if you're a first-time watch buyer, buying your first luxury watch is not going to be a Grand Seiko. It's going to be an Omega, maybe a Breitling, maybe a Rolex, or
Yep.
It's a niche brand. It's a really niche
God
brand.
willing, in 2026 at Universal Geneve, dude, I'm so looking forward to whatever they do.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. I mean, I'm super curious to see. Hopefully they've got good archives.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they got good archives.
I mean, the build quality on this is insane. For as small as this thing is, just to look at this movement and like even winding it, you can feel the quality that's in this movement.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The tactile wind's nice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nate, the answer is they don't inspire passion for the same reason with Western audiences. You don't call they branded the Lexus brand for the United States market, right? It's like the same models, especially of a lot of low-end Lexus sedans, are just Toyotas elsewhere. Seiko, it needed to be a completely different branding situation. It's the damn problem that like Nissan, Nissan just said that they have like 12 to 14 months left to live, and I'm convinced a ton of that has to do with the way they handled the branding and Nissan Steel, and they went into like the Yeti car, they went into the damn camping market, like everything, like a conglomerate. They did it that way, and for a while they severely diminished their brand with the outdoor enthusiasts that were buying their little trucks that they were collaborating with Ford on. It's like it just doesn't work for the Western audience to have the name Seiko on a luxury product.
I think also additionally they try to like romanticize the brand too, because if every single watch, it has some weird name, and then they're like, oh, it's inspired by the stars that set on the water and the grass, the way the grass was illuminated in the reflection of the water, and it's like, yeah. Okay.
It worked for the snowflake dial. That thing is
it works for
unbelievable.
It works for a few watches. It doesn't work as many.
But like, yeah, but beyond like maybe one or two, like there's no need for it.
Every single one is like that, though.
No, you're right.
Yeah, on paper, Grand Seiko should be just kicking butt in terms of sales.
Mm-hmm.
The finishing, what you get, the value proposition. But when we've alluded to it, what they did not deal with is the emotional issue.
Yeah.
I don't know the way. I mean, the market has changed a lot since I sold watches, and I will tell you, I have sold a shit ton of Grand Seiko in my life. I would say almost 1-to-1 with Omega.
Oh,
wow.
Mind you, this was 2.5 years ago. But no, I agree. I mean, there's clearly some image problems. Something I've noticed about Grand Seiko, which is kind of weird, is people come full circle to Grand Seiko. Like I remember this one guy that came up and he was just admiring the Grand Seiko, and then he was wearing like an anniversary like AP, and he was talking about his Patek collection and this and that. And I was like, okay, well, if you have these really like ultra luxury brand like products, then you're coming full circle back to Grand Seiko. Like, that says something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I definitely think the image problem is real. I mean, I've never been to Japan, so I don't know what the water, the reflection of the grass setting in the water and the moon star. I mean, it doesn't mean shit to me, but just stop trying to romanticize your products. Like, just say, hey, this is a watch. It's a beautiful watch. Buy it. Don't try and make a story behind it.
Well,
like
I mean,
they're trying to package the story with the watch.
But when the story becomes the attempt at a primary marketing tool as opposed to a secondary or tertiary tool, you've got a problem.
Exactly. It's like they tell the story and then they show the watch.
Yeah.
Like they make you listen through it. It's like a timeshare, right? Where you have to, you have to sit through the timeshare presentation to actually get the free gift, right? And this, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because if you ask, a lot of watch people and people that are even on the periphery, and you say Grand Seiko, they would never question the quality. They're known for their quality. I mean, they build some of the best. I don't care what anybody says. They build some of the best watches.
They do.
And for some reason, they don't lean into that. Like, they have the spring drive, which is insane.
Yes.
It's an insane movement. And it's like, nobody's come even close to making something that groundbreaking in a long time.
There,
and so
hold on. No, the spring drive was made for them to prove a point, but it's totally unnecessary. That's the thing. Is a spring drive.
Is it though?
It's totally unnecessary. What does it actually accomplish?
Because
it's more efficient. It's more efficient. It takes less wear.
No, but
the sweep is cleaner than anything else.
But it doesn't accomplish anything in terms of time telling. It takes the romanticism away from the automatic watches.
But neither does the tourbillon.
No, but it's romantic. The tourbillon's romantic.
It's accurate.
Right?
I mean, it is more accurate.
But that's the reason they developed it. Watch. They developed it to compete.
Right. But I'm saying as far as like horological inventions that have come along in the past 100 years, I would say the spring drive is one of the bigger ones that we've seen, because a lot of people really haven't done anything like that.
That's true. No, that's true. But in terms of like the love affair with how you push that, you can't possibly push it, because if somebody came out like Metis certified means nothing to even people who know what Metis certified means. Okay.
Right.
Because ultimately we are not looking for that sort of accuracy on our wrists. We're living by our calendars on our phones and our computers, because that's the synchronization that matters. Right. So spring drives served a purpose of they wanted to prove a point to the Swiss watch market. Right. Kelvin, thank you for joining us. Hope you feel much better.
Yes.
See you next time for sure.
And the other thing is that none of us question the quality of Grand Seiko, but how many of us have actually owned them? Like GS Superman obviously owned a lot. Jonathan Coyle Higgins, I think, owned a couple. Blake obviously has handled a lot. I've owned one.
I've owned a few.
I have two.
Almost everybody goes based on what everybody else says in terms of finish quality. Here's the interesting thing about that, is that not many people, they don't stay in their collection very long. So I actually don't even think we have good anecdotal evidence that Grand Seiko lasts a long time and is super high quality, because everybody flips them generally for a hell of a loss fairly soon because they inspire no passion. So think about that in comparison to like Toyota or Honda. Like, there's a reason why we actually have, and Honda's fallen off in terms of the car market, but there's a reason that Toyota and Lexus, people consider them high qualities, because you have 3 decades now of consistent high quality, and people who've driven the vehicles for 100, 200, 350,000 miles.
Yeah.
I can't find a single Grand Seiko owner in my own life, I'm sure we have some in the group, that actually have had their Grand Seiko on a regular basis as their beater, as they would have their Rolex sub, and say that it has survived everything the Rolex sub has had. We have no evidence of that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I think it's purely the romanticism of watch nerds who want to give Grand Seiko props, because we don't want to admit that none of us are really sure, and we're just kind of giving them props because we have really good experiences with Seiko turtles, so it must be like a super great Seiko turtle.
Yeah.
I have two Grand Seikos in my collection, and the final unboxing, I did a trade deal, and I considered getting rid of both of them. Every single morning I wake up and I have 2 Grand Seikos at my disposal. I can grab either. And one of them, which I unboxed maybe a couple months ago was the new blue dial limited edition of 300 pieces. I still haven't
I
even
remember you did.
Yeah, I still haven't even worn it. And one of the guys in
You
the
would
watch
rather wear your Bell and Rosses. I mean, that says a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. Well, no. So
Used
when
to
it came,
until he got rid of them.
we'll talk
Well,
about
no,
that
but
in
I
a
mean,
bit.
you know what I mean. It's like,
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit. But no, I literally, the second the watch came in, I never even put it on my wrist. And then my buddy has the exact same wrist size as me. Was like, hey, dude, I'm thinking about getting a Grand Seiko. Can I borrow?
this
yours?
is when you loaned him. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second, I mean, I didn't even wear it. Like, imagine that, like me buying or somebody buying a brand new watch and then just immediately sending it out to a friend to wear.
Yeah, unless your name's Bubba Hotep and you have 42 Rolexes in your spare box,
Yeah.
you're not loaning out, right? It's like, so it's just, you see what I'm getting at, Jen? I'm not trying to, like, they could be the absolute bee's knees, but I don't think we have any real evidence of that. I think we all just keep regurgitating that we want to believe that.
For good or bad, whatever you feel about this person, Kevin O'Leary is probably the best person to ask. He's probably the one that has kept them the longest. He does not sell a watch. And I know that he has a few Grand Seikos. He has a Creedor as well that he loves. He raves about Creedor. When he found out about him, he was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And I think that
doesn't,
again, like
Jen,
you said, I think they're
matter.
focusing on the wrong. I think they're focusing on the wrong thing marketing wise. They have these amazing dials that they can create. Forget the storytelling. Like, how do you work with those dials? That's why people buy those watches. The finish, the dial. Forget that it's a spring drive movement. Look how fluidly this sweeps across the dial. It just looks beautiful when it runs. Like, dive into that. I don't understand why people aren't why they aren't diving into that more. Why
because
somebody hasn't stepped in.
It's hard to explain that to people when they can get a quartz movement that has the same fluid sweep.
Yeah.
Right, for nothing. Like it doesn't strike them as special unless you explain what spring drive is. That there's the electrostatic component, it's a hybrid component, and once you have to explain what the whole thing is, right? It's like somebody if they're renting a car, right? And I just need to get, I'm going to use it one drive. They don't give a shit if it's Tesla or gas powered. Like
Right.
it doesn't matter. But Kevin O'Leary, I'm going to say I don't know him.
Right.
But he absolutely has no credibility for me in terms of somebody who's going to tell me what a watch review is for a daily beater, because he has 1.5 billion watches, because he can have 1.5 billion watches. There's no evidence that he wears the Grand Seikos as daily beater or any of his watches as daily beater. Like even my Roman Gautier is a phenomenal watch. I'm not wearing it as daily beater. So I'm never going to get up and get in front of you and say that my Roman Gautier is finished better than any Grand Seiko that has ever existed, that is made of higher quality materials by hand and has a more advanced design in terms of mechanical, except for the spring drive, than any Grand Seiko that's ever existed. I'm not going to get up here and say that it is like it's a daily beater quality thing and like because it's so well made and it's finished so well, it's going to last forever. I just think that they get credit for credit for stuff that oh, it's Cap. Hello, welcome, Cap.
I was wondering when did someone mention Kevin O'Leary?
I did.
Yeah.
This is our Kevin O'Leary.
That was my entranceway. I
No,
thought
exactly.
Didn't you want Kevin O'Leary's opinion? You got him. You wanted him. You got him.
We've got Timu Kevin O'Leary joining us.
I'm gonna side with Ali. Hi, Jen. No disrespect. I'm gonna side with Ali because he's fired up, and it's hard to take the other side of what sounds like a very compelling and passionate and fiery position. No, but in all serious, listen. My view of the spring drive is it doesn't know what it wants to be, right? Yes, it's got. Why do I want a quartz in my mechanical watch? Like, why do I want that? Because it's cool to have? Like, I don't know. I'd rather have the high beat by Grand Seiko. I think that's cool.
See the high beat. I'm with you there.
All right. Hey, good. Yeah. It's good to be aligned with you. And there's been a lot of other technological advancements in horology, right? I don't think you could just say that the spring drive is the one revolutionary thing, right? I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, look what Lange did, when they created the Zeitwerk,
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man.
right?
Oh man. Zeitwerk.
And I mean, there's a lot of others as well. We need
Sure.
you and Marco to come on and talk about double escapements, etc. But where's Nico Leonard? Where is Nico Leonard?
I don't
That's
know
what I
if
want to
Nico's
you
know.
watched
here.
the Christmas show. If people saw the Christmas gift show last night, the God tier hats that need money for watches, shirts. We put that was one of our suggested Christmas gifts.
We
And if
repped
you
it.
subscribe to Nico's Instagram, and he also has a new Telegram channel, he's been dropping 50-pound gift certificates like at random on occasion, which will cover the cost of a whole shirt.
Yep.
Right. And these shirts, of which I think both Robert Wood and I own a couple. This isn't like the fabric you get from Teespring. These are like
No.
thick, really, really high quality, but they are European sizing. So like if you are me or Robert sized,
Get a 4X.
yeah,
Yeah.
if he has them. I don't think he has 4Xs yet.
Nico, get some 4Xs.
Yeah. But the need money for watches shirts are pretty cool. And they were part of our Christmas gift guide. If you haven't catch that episode from last night, we go over like 30 things that are potential Christmas gifts for horologists, and
So
Nico's shirts are one of them.
Can you explain, Ali, the Telegram? Because on Instagram, I get the, on Nico's page, Nico's IG, I get these Telegram, notifications and short videos that he does so well.
Telegram is an alternative to WhatsApp in a very real sense, but it is oriented more towards large groups. WhatsApp was oriented towards more direct person-to-person communication and introduced groups later. Telegram started with groups and kind of went to person-to-person communication later. So it's an alternative. It has a different type of international audience. Actually, at one point, we were considering converting the WhatsApp group to a Telegram group, but WhatsApp is more common in the States and Telegram is more common overseas. So,
Okay. Yeah, that explains it. Yep. Okay.
I mean, in my opinion,
Good morning, guys.
we have Nico joining us,
Hey.
folks.
Thank
In
you.
Good
my-
morning.
Well, hello. Good morning.
He's in
morning, how
Dubai
are you
right
doing?
now, so I think it is actually morning for him.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yep.
7:29. I had a
Oh,
5-hour sleep, and I
Oh,
just woke up in the most hilarious conversation.
Hey,
In my
You think-
opinion, the whole
you think this is hilarious? Wait till you see what Blake Ray's final unboxing is tonight. You're gonna love it.
Mate, never mind.
Sorry, bro.
in my
Just-
opinion,
Just tune out before then.
in my opinion, the whole Grand Seiko thing boils down to a matter of brand equity and brand reputation. The name Seiko has a great brand reputation, but in a completely different class and price level of watch. And Grand Seiko is trying to compete at a price point where almost all of its competitors have at least a somewhat glamorous history and story that they can tell about the brand. And Seiko, the brains in Japan, obviously thought that if they could compete solely on value and finishing, that they could make up for their lack of history, or at least I should say their lack of history in the new price point they were trying to compete in. And they would have been better off, I agree with Ali, if they had just completely dropped the Seiko name and come up with something completely different.
We want to welcome young Brando in, who agrees when Nico says, never pay more than $1,000 for a Seiko. There you go.
That's it.
And
That's
that's Nico's Telegram channel. So if you want to check it out, there it is linked
All right.
in the chat. Yes, sir, Mr.
Guys,
Nico.
Thank you so much for the love and support as always, Ali. Good to I don't see you, but good to see you. What a legend. Oh, the love is always real. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah, no problem. And I also there's a second link there, Robert. The vault. Nico is putting his wife to work. They're starting a kind of competition.
Aye. We'll have
And
to.
they have it on Instagram and Telegram. So
Putting
The
her
funny
to
bit is
work
that-
/ feeding his addiction.
Exactly. Right. My wife, because we have back-to-back kids, and she was like, I would love to. Like, she was still employed. She was on maternity leave.
Okay.
Sorry, I never function in the morning, by the way. So that's why I can barely string a sentence together. And she's like, I really want to go back to work, but I don't enjoy what I did. And I'm like, well, that's a problem then, isn't it? It's very. So we had a company dormant, which we wrote a business plan for in 2021, and that was in the first year of first year of YouTube being serious or relatively serious. I was like, well, let's do this together, but I have no time. I want to do this because I want to do this together. You see what I mean? But I need you to pick up 50% of the challenges. You see what I mean?
Yep.
So no, it's gonna be interesting, and I just want to have fun. That's all I want, and do some cool stuff. So really,
Nico, it worked out better for you. The last time I had a conversation about like sharing the load, she filed for divorce. So.
Well, that this will give me high hopes.
And by the way, congratulations to your daughter who just turned 1, I think 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Baby me.
Happy birthday to
she's
her.
growing. Being a dad is the maddest thing ever. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
It is the
Nico,
maddest
listen,
thing ever.
awesome.
Your kids are adorable.
I congratulate
thank you
her
so
that
much.
She survived a full year with you as her father.
Exactly. How is that even possible?
Yeah.
Like, how?
I got to say, the family photo you posted on Instagram, those kids are just awesome.
Yeah.
If you subscribe to his Instagram, he
Sorry,
has a little Instagram fan page.
audio was great. That was my alarm was actually going off, and my audio.
No, I was.
1 second. Let me see how it is.
Nico, do you
That
have
was
any
embarrassing.
coffee nearby? Nico.
He's got to switch his alarm off on his phone, I think.
Yeah. Nico.
He's in Dubai. He's got coffee and other things nearby, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I wanted to like in the Grand Seiko thing too. I had somebody in my watch group that traded away all of his watches, and now he has a case full of like 7 Grand Seikos. And I'm like, dude, what the hell?
Oh, we got 2 Nicos. This is what's better than 1 Nico? 2.
There we go. Now we got.
I'm with the other one.
He's collapsed the wave function. He's back to one meter.
Sorry, Robert. I
No,
couldn't hear what
I
you
was
said.
I was saying
Multiverse.
that I saw your family photo on Instagram, and those kids are just absolutely very cool. You're doing a great job with those kids, and your wife is too, and it's awesome. My granddaughter is coming up on her first birthday in 2 weeks, so
amazing.
getting back into the being around a little baby a lot. There's nothing like it. You do it for the first time as a father, and then you get to the grandfather part, and it's even better.
It'll keep you alive for sure.
Amazing.
How do you balance all your shit that you do?
Who, Nico?
I can.
He doesn't balance it. Don't look. Are you kidding me?
Like how are you, dude? How are you holding up there?
No, Nico's see. The thing is, people think Nico's like he's a growing tornado, a growing hurricane. He's a tornado. He just like rampages in and out of everything he does as fast as possible. He's literally like he wakes up every morning. He sorts a couple pixie sticks, then he downs 2 espressos, then he sues Ferrari, shits on Hublot, comes and shits on Grand Seiko. Then he sells a couple watches. He goes and he meets his chef buddies, and they make some strange like fucking weird egg burger, and then he actually records his work for the day. He's hilarious, dude. He's like fucking. He's human adult. He's like just meth.
I see a reality TV show in the offing here.
But now I've switched off all my alarms because
Hey!
this was annoying.
You're
But
obviously awake, so
appreciate, yeah, exactly. Appreciate the love. I'm actually in Dubai, which is my day 2 in Dubai. Fun enough, but
Okay.
no, Ali, you're absolutely right, Robert. I would love to take all the credit for being a great father, but um, I I'm always away, unfortunately. It's the
yeah,
hard
I
part.
know.
I'm not gonna lie, but
That doesn't mean you're
uh,
not a great father, but you just got
nah,
to take advantage of the
that's
time
true.
you do have.
That's listen for me. It is really important that, like, I speak about this with a lot of very, like, the word successful is an interesting dynamic, right? Because successful is for every person different. Like, there's people that like Grand Seeker and there's people that don't. You see, it's similar. And if I look at what success, if we measure success by company growth and all that stuff, right? And I speak with a lot of people. I have really good people around me now, and none of them have were in the first 3 years, 4 years of their children were really present, if you know what I mean. But they
Mhm.
all struggled at the same age, which was after like 11, 12 months of their firstborn.
Hmm.
And oh my god, I find it very difficult.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to say I really appreciated on your video where you talked about, the fact of how you've grown into being a dad over, the birth of your son and your daughter coming, and how, you kind of felt like disconnected at first, and
yeah,
now like you can't be away from them. And
ah,
I think men especially need to hear that. Like it's okay to feel that way. Like you're not alone in that.
it was really confusing because I thought that like I started I started to get worried about my own feelings, if you know what I mean. It's like, what is going on here? Is this normal? Am I weird? Like, what is going on? Like, am I some emotional? Do I have some emotional disconnect here? But
Mm,
that is complete. Like, to give you an idea, right? And I'm just gonna say this really blunt, as you might know me, um, but all of a sudden there's this thing that you're supposed to love within a
yeah.
split second. And because social media and books and things say, I need to do skin to skin because that creates a bond. And then basically expecting that to happen from the start.
Right.
Well, because it's your child in 1 second. But on the other hand, it's because that is the norm, you expect that to happen. And when it
Mm,
doesn't happen like that, you think, oh my God, there's something wrong. And for me, that was a really scary part, but I'm glad I identify as a normal human, to be honest, because I missed him very much, and
yeah.
I'm very much very like this. My daughter, she's beautiful. She looks more like my wife than me, so I'm very happy. My son is a wee bit more unlucky, but yeah. So, oh yeah,
Mhm.
there's a belter.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
he's
haircut went
awesome.
wrong on this one, to be honest. Um,
So it seems like I don't know if you've met Mental Jock before, Nico. It looks like he's in Dubai, by the way. He lives there. He's got a ridiculous Dodge, and it looks like he will see you at the event in Dubai.
yes, yeah, that would be class. Like, this is, as you may know, I've always had the ambition to expand. I never really had the balls to do it, to be honest. And we're gonna do it now. It's time
Mhm.
to bring it to the next level. For me, Dubai is a strategic move, not a prestigious move.
Right.
Um, because the watch industry here is, to be honest, one big joke. And I'm not being in any way, shape, or form racist, but I don't really find it comfortable buying watches from some random Indian person that has no idea about anything. I don't think that that's the right customer experience. So for me, it is more a strategic move. And I think that with our name, we can actually make something happen. But I'm very curious how this event will go Sunday, to be honest, because well, yesterday I was at a big event with the biggest supercar club in the Emirates, which was wild. So
I think as you experienced with the rally events and whatnot, there's a certain cult of personality that follows you, and you've earned that, right? So I'm sure it will go well. And since I know you can't see every comment, there are a lot of fathers out there that are wishing you the best of luck and telling you you're going to do fine. Doc Mick is telling you when your daughter turns 16, it'll be a nightmare. I can actually agree with him on that. You got Irving Hard reminding you that you start wearing New Balance and Grand Seiko the longer you're dad. You got a lot of people cheering for you, man. You got a lot of people cheering for you.
That is amazing, guys. Thank you so much.
You know what'll help you with the 16-year-old though is if your kids are involved in activities, that really helps.
Oh, I thought you were going to say tranquilizer darts. That was my secret.
No. If both the kids are like they're playing football / soccer, they're doing whatever they're doing. If they're in a group of kids where they all have specific interests, for my daughter, it was marching band. That really helps a lot to keep their focus on what's important. So,
for me, I wanted to do everything. You see what I mean? On the other hand, I had a really interesting conversation yesterday with a gentleman who is a big guy, right? Well, let's put it this way: he started absolute zero, had a very rough upbringing, several different like not a solid household. Let's put it that way. Not very much dissimilar, bar an aggression part from me growing up. I would argue to say that a generation before me, like yourself and our generation, is a generation that could potentially be the last generation that properly struggled with like the identity for my parents. And my grandfather fought in the war, right? In the Second World War. My father grew up with that mentality of my father, you know what I mean, of my grandfather, if you know what I mean, right? He struggled a lot with that. So to show that love and to show that care, that was quite tough for him. He was a great father. He's a great father, but yeah, of course, everyone has his flaws. But the next generation, I'm really worried about the next generation. I'm not gonna lie. Like the TikTok stuff, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I mean, I am very grateful. I went through a lot of rough patches, and I think several people in the room have experienced nothing dissimilar. But it shaped me. It got to where I am today. It gave me a personality. It gave me a voice. It gave me a drive. Well, the conversation I had with the gentleman yesterday is like, yeah, we bought, whenever they turned 21, I bought them a house, and I was like, do you really think that's a good idea? And I'm not being, I'm just curious. I'm like, like I didn't have a penny in my pocket until I turned 32, 33. To be honest, I remember having absolute zero and needing to buy food at the age of 29, no, 28. That was Pride and Pinion, or Pride and Pinion didn't exist. It was a different name, but I bought a few watches. Like I had nothing. Like way before that, at 25, I had completely nothing. Like it was just, but it shaped me in that part, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, buying a house that's up for your kid when he turns 21. I'm like, well, that's not really a big achievement, is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not, every parent's got to do their own thing, but it is kind of confusing sometimes. Right.
I'm curious
what people do.
How was the upbringing for your generation, Robert and Ali, your generation in America?
It was, I didn't get a house, that's for sure. No, I mean,
I mean,
my parents didn't, they didn't have anything when I was growing up. We lived a nice middle class lifestyle, but, they helped when they could after I moved out or after I was kicked out. That's a whole different story. But they helped some when I was not making it, but they could only help so much. So it was mostly you get out there and you find a job and you make as much money as you can and you start moving up the ladder and making a little bit more money and eventually you make it on your own.
Yeah, I have no doubt that if I had really hit like hardships in my younger years, my parents would have been there. But I was, they did what they were supposed to do in terms of supporting me academically after we came, from the Iranian Revolution. So I was fortunate to not need college money and stuff because I had scholarships. At this point, I'm 46 years old, and my life just recently fell apart because of the hurricanes and this past year of other events. If my parents were younger, I'm sure they would help me, right? If I needed it, but they definitely didn't. There was no buying of houses.
Right.
Yeah.
There was, I'm sure if I'd asked, if I said like, will you buy my first car, they would have, but they didn't raise me to ask,
Yeah.
right? They raised me to, do what I needed to and practice and fail fast and iterate sort of thing. So, yeah, Uncle Mikey, let's catch up on the two super chats. McLovin with the peso can and test for Mookie. Thank you very much, McLovin and GD the peso can. And we got Uncle Mikey. What did we unbox? We actually did 2 unboxings so far, and we've got 2 more coming. But Nico Leonard joined us, so we want to make sure, since he joined us crack ass early from Dubai, to give Nico some floor time. We always appreciate having him here.
We unveiled Jen's new Universal Geneve. We unboxed a G-Shock from Blake, and Blake also unboxed his new Alpina Alpiner that he got for working Black Friday over at the Citizen booth.
Yeah.
So we got 2 more to go. I don't know, Nico, you can stick around for, or you can get your day started, but we did drop your link. Jock will be there. He is in Dubai. Good luck in Dubai. Good luck with the event. And obviously the grand opening is I'm sure we'll hear about it, the grand opening of Pride and Pinion Dubai.
So when is the grand opening, Nico?
Well, I decided to start from scratch and basically do what I did 8 years ago, and basically start from zero. The only difference is I'm not starting from zero because my name is relatively known, so that is quite amazing. But I literally start with a blank page. We myself a place where like an apartment, where I'm gonna be about 10 days a month, just to identify and see, and I'm very fortunate that this time around I'm not doing it alone. I have a business partner in this part, which is a very dear friend of mine. It's been that for many years. Has been advising me for many years, as well. And above anything else, I can actually bring my kids here. You see, so
Yeah.
it is. I would be away, but I wouldn't be away from my family. So that's very, very positive. They're not here this time, but they will be in January. So.
Dude, this is wild to hear Nico talk about this because, like, Pride and Pinion was relatively successful and his channel was growing, but it wasn't that long ago, right? It still feels like really, really recent. And now Nico's got, million plus subscribers, a bunch of 2 channels, a bunch of collaborations.
Almost 2 million.
All 2 million, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of collaborations and he's doing all sorts of stuff all over the world. It's just funny as shit to think about because it was like day before yesterday, Nico was a backpack dealer.
Yeah.
Well, I still feel like that.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I know you.
Well, I love what you're doing with Ulysse Nardin. I love those watches. Those freaks are awesome.
Thank you so much. That has been an incredible journey, to be honest, because it was, for me, you guys addressed it earlier, right, regarding Grand Seiko, right? If they're, like, a bad watch doesn't exist, right? It is what it is. It all tells the time the same way. You see what I mean? It doesn't tell the time faster. It tells the time. Like, we buy watches because they are emotions. It makes us feel better, right? You dress it up, and you choose the watch in the morning, right? And it is part of your outfit. It's part of a story above anything else. And for me, Grand Seiko doesn't have one. But bar that fact, right? Um, UN, if you look at the engineering, the sheer engineering of it, it is miles ahead, and it's been they UN have been a game changer from the start of that company, right? So I'm not talking about the company. I'm talking about the watchmaker at the time. And the really hilarious part is his second name is Leonard too, which is interesting. Right? I figured that stuff out at a later stage. But if we look at chronometers, right? UN was number one back in the day, right? If we look at silicone escapements, UN is still number one today. Patek wouldn't have the advanced research department today if it wasn't for UN. And they are still like people don't know this. Dans Cadrans is the atelier that creates the enamel dials owned by UN, but they create the dials for all the all the big the enamel dials for
Right.
all the big boys. You see, when people don't know that stuff, which is fine, and that is just because whenever the Kering Group bought UN and Rolf Sneeder passed, those are two pivotal moments in the history of that brand. Rolf Snyder was an absolute madman, and he was the visionary, and he genuinely brought the brand to the top, to the heights. The Kering Group bought it and sucked the soul out of it. And a couple of years ago, there was a management buyout, and they had no idea how to. The management bought the company out. They're independent again, but they still had no idea how to tell that story. And I'm very, very grateful that they gave me the opportunity to basically they took a risk and they experiment. Then they gave me a chance, and like together with a great people, I'm actually able to tell a great story. But their products are levels above me, like levels
Yeah.
above.
Yeah.
They're great to collaborate with too. I mean, I've done some events with them here, and they've just been super supportive. Francois Xavier, like he and I text pretty regularly. He's the president of North America.
He's a great guy.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, Kering Group like is a fashion brand. Like they got all the fashion, shit, and they fucked up GP too.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
so
that's the next one. That I will be working with that in
Okay.
probably about
Oh,
a year and a
nice.
half to 2 years. But
Nice.
we'll take. Listen, I want to do this right, and I'm not doing anything different. I just want to tell the right story, and that's all. And they had a campaign about sharks. Who gives a fuck about sharks? And then it's like,
yeah,
no,
one more wave or whatever.
they wanted to bring out this big campaign about recycled watch straps. And last year,
Yeah,
in Watches
yeah.
and Wonders, I said to Matthias, I'm like, stop with this bullshit, right? A watch is an emotion, but you want it to be a flex as well. I would be highly embarrassed if I go and sit with my friends and one wears a Richard Mille, the other wears a incredible Nautilus, complicated, whatever, yeah, a 5740, and I come down, yeah, this is my watch with recycled fishnets, mate. Like,
It's
It's
funny
like
where
what
that came
the
from
espresso pods.
because
we
one
have
of
a
the
double,
Real quick, Blake,
someone's
real
double
quick. We do
wristing.
want to. Yeah, we got Patrick. Patrick came on with some Grand Seikos. So welcome, Patrick, from Pocket Watch Time. Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Patrick.
I
he's
needed
double
to
wristing
defend
Grand
Seiko a
Seiko.
little bit.
He needed to
Uh-oh.
defend Grand Seiko's honor.
Let's show him. Show him
Well,
again.
I mean, I would never be so dorky to double fist Grand Seikos, but I guess to defend them, I will. But,
we call it,
but
we can call it now safely 2 Grand Seiko.
but I've got the spring drive, which, as someone said earlier, is the epitome of Grand Seiko, and I honor the spring drive. I think it's their greatest creation and a very fun thing. And I honor their wonderful quartz movements. And because of that, you got to at least own one in each category. And maybe one day I'll get a high beat.
Get the high beat. Get the high beat.
There you go. Perfect
Yeah.
trio.
Real quick,
Got a
I want to
couple
catch up on super chats. We got
Yeah.
Bipolar Bear Clooney. He is wishing us cheers to the All-Star panel, and he is looking for his teeth. Thank you very much, Bipolar Bear Clooney. And we have Kurt from down in Texas. $5. Awesome panel. You guys got your race entries as well. And I really quickly want to highlight somebody else from Pride and Pinion who actually, he's never been on the show, but he did us a solid, which is Graham. Graham is on IG, graham.at Pride and Pinion. You can get in touch with Graham especially if you're in the European market, but they do ship worldwide for your watch needs as well, along with our channel sponsor Bernines and Marco. But we all love and have done business with Marco at this point. But Graham at Watches and Wonders provided some fantastic coverage, which we used on the show. So I did want to thank him out loud in front of Nico, since Nico, I guess, is his boss. That Graham did some fantastic coverage for Watches and Wonders, and he does good work. Really like him.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that. You guys are far too kind, for fuck's sake. Nobody is saying bad things. I'm used to that, to be honest.
No, we say the bad things over on the franchise club. We go over to that channel and we want to say the bad
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. I stay off of that because I'm not about the drama, but they can have the dramas over there.
No, that's not. But like, fuck me, anyway. But guys, I really appreciate the love. I'm gonna get dressed here because I'm gonna go to the gym in 2 minutes. Actually, funny enough. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Ali. Good to see you. Well, I don't see you, but amazing, and hope to hear more from the whole panel. I'll be in and out. Whenever I see something, I'll just. And if I feel
good luck
like
in Dubai, man, and congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one, man. Good to see you again.
Nico.
Enjoy.
Good luck in Dubai.
Thank you, Blake. Cap,
We're about to do 2 more unboxings here, courtesy
Bye-bye.
of Blake, folks. We got AB joining in the super chat fun and the race. Wow, I stepped away to get Chipotle. I come back and see Nico is on. See, you shouldn't step away. You should DoorDash to Chipotle. You should never leave the show. We have Mookie saying the franchise club is no drama. It's actually a factual documentary channel. That's all.
That's true.
Is documentary. Mookie is he's just a great guy. Mookie's actually like genuinely a great guy, even though nobody actually knows who he is, and we've never seen Mookie and me in the same room. So thank you, AB and Mookie. Box of Tanya Wellington.
Sorry.
Yeah. So let's do the next unboxing, Mr. Blake. Let me get you into position.
Yeah, so this is a cool one. But obviously for those of you that know, I'm in Vegas and Formula One is in Vegas, and I had an opportunity to work with IWC. And during my opportunity to work with them, I got a chance to buy a watch, a cheap watch. So of course, I had to be on IWC. And I was thinking about like which I thought was probably one of the more underrated but still special watches in their collection. So of course I had to do a Spitfire, a bronze Spitfire.
Very nice. And that's that looks great.
Yeah,
and I bet that wears really well too.
Yeah, it wears as it should. The patina is absolutely insanely beautiful. And I got that is kind of
nice. That is kind of a nice patina there.
The little easy clip shit, whatever you call it.
And hopefully it will stay on like the Hublot that I tried on.
Yeah. But no. So this is a new acquisition, and that's number 3. So
very nice.
Yeah. So should we just jump right to number 4 too, or like what?
Well, yeah, we're hitting the 2-hour mark, and so and actually we're covering Jen's face again. So let me swap Jen with me again.
Ollie, are
Oh,
you
the-
trying to say something? I'm a
Well,
little
no, I mean, if the
offended.
people have cameras, right? I don't want to cover their faces, kind
I'm
of.
just
We're-
kidding.
We're
You're
saying
right,
you're in the
man.
Christmas spirit, Jen. So we
I
put
know,
a Christmas
right?
tree right over your face.
When I saw you came on, you were sitting in the Christmas tree for a long time. I was like, damn, you're festive already.
I know, right?
Hey, Blake, can I ask you to go back to your Casio where you picked that up? You may have mentioned it.
bait?
Yeah, it's bait. So it's baitme.com.
Bait. What is bait?
It's like a street. I think it's like a streetwear company in LA. The same guy that owns Undefeated, which is another
Okay.
streetwear brand,
Okay.
owns Bait, and it's like a lifestyle streetwear brand. Which I mean, again, I had never heard of Bait before I bought this watch, but
So it's like a Kith type of
Kith, yeah,
Kith.
Yeah.
Kith.
Can
Yeah,
you
so-
buy them online or you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah,
go?
yeah. So
That's really cool.
They launched them here at some type of like streetwear show here in Vegas, and so obviously this was at the same time. Like I didn't get a chance to go down and grab them. And anyways, so they said that they were launching them online, and I just kept kind of refreshing their page until they came up online, and I bought it like maybe like 5 days ago, and it just no tracking, it just showed up. So it showed up yesterday. So
McLovin reactivating the peso cannon, another 20. I think you have a problem. You need a bigger safe.
I bought a second safe recently. So
Look at that.
yeah, I'm ready.
Problem solved.
Send
Indeed.
cash now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean we could jump into the third, or the fourth, sorry. Which so I was kind of like, I've showed my collection on the stream here, and I've been trying to figure out how I can consolidate like some of the watches. And I think, I don't know who told me this. I think it was like my dad or somebody. But he said, if you have clothes and you haven't worn your clothes in 6 months or something, chances are you're just not going to wear them. Right. So I started applying that mentality to my watch collection, which I have way too many watches. You all know. A lot of the stuff that I've gotten is micro brand stuff. And obviously we know that's worth next to nothing. Right. But Bell and Ross is a brand that I still really resonate with, and I just wasn't wearing them. So I had 3 Bell and Rosses that, again, I just never wore. And so I did a trade for the watch that you see now.
Uh-oh.
Blow.
So
Nico will be back on any minute.
All right, thank you
now.
everybody for joining us. We're going to run the credits and get the hell out of town.
That's clickbait
Well,
right there. That's
If it's the
clickbait.
tantalum one,
I mean,
Let's see what you got here. Let's see what you got.
That's pretty
yeah,
cool. So far, so good. Well, maybe not so good, but we'll see.
It's the Rainbow Hublot Big Bang.
damn it! Now you just killed it for everybody. No, I think this is a cool watch, right? And I mean, we all know Hublot is way fucking overpriced. But if you
So
consider,
you shoplifted it. Awesome.
pretty much, yeah. If you consider what they retail for and what I got this for three Bell and Rosses and $1,000. I think I did okay.
All right. Okay.
That's
Now, unfortunately, you do realize that's one of the ones that popped off my wrist like 7 times.
I did not realize that, but
But it is a good looking watch. I will give you
it
that.
is. I think it's fucking uncomfortable as hell.
for
You
the
know-
Hublot virgins, what is it?
It's a Big Bang Unico.
Okay.
Ceramic bezel. I think this is the best configuration. It's not too gaudy. It's not too crazy. But fuck, man, is this shit here the demon? Like it just. So I ordered some of the Velcro stuff, for it. So I hope that that this does it. And this is the cheapest one that I saw. It was about $7,000 and it retails for about 21. So I feel like I did pretty good. And And mind you, like I said, it was the cheapest one I found on the internet. I have a tendency to buy the cheapest shit I find on the internet. And of course, it came with the warranty, all that stuff. And I took a shower, and I was wearing it, and not in the shower, but I set it down on the cabinet there, and I came out of the shower, and it was fogged up. There's condensation all under the dial.
Oh man!
So I knew I was gonna send it to Hublot, and so I took it apart myself, and somehow it still works. Just to get the condensation out. You know, I watched enough videos of wristwatch revival.
Bucket of rice.
No. I literally just I took the movement out, popped the crown out. And I mean, it's a relatively really easy watch to take apart. And yeah, so I watched enough wristwatch revival, so I felt comfortable, and so yeah.
Speaking of wristwatch revival, we do have a super chat, and then I'm going to get to it. It's the best Hublot is a shoplifted Hublot, Abraham Lincoln, 1863. That is a direct quote. You can check Wikipedia on it. Yeah. And then I did want to note that Patrick, who's on the panel, he's got 109,000 subscribers, so he doesn't need our help. But if by chance you're not subscribed to Patrick's channel and you want to see, he does things on servicing, opening cases, all sorts of stuff. He does all sorts of things on his channel, including about a month ago, he did the neatest micro brand you've never heard of. And to be honest, I don't think I wanted to hear of them, but it was a neat little watch. So that is Patrick's channel. We got Uncle Mikey with $1.99. Congrats, Balaki. Jeez. We got Bubba Hotep, always with the Bubba Hotep philosophy, from a prestigious Rolex buyer to now buying Casio, Alpina, IWC, and oh my God, Hublot. Advanced stage syphilis is a nasty brain wasting disease, friends. This is true.
There's no doubt I need to get checked out. So
he also says congratulations.
Thank you.
Bubba, that's the best burn ever.
The advanced stage syphilis is a pretty good one. I mean, that goes to you, Gambino Nate, who when Blake says he looked for the internet for the cheapest possible prices, he was directly talking about Nate. That is the ghost of VenusGambino.com, the ghost of VenusGambino.com. His Shopify store is well stocked. He's getting rid of 3 Bell & Rosses is always a good thing. I'm going to take credit for that. I think I read them enough about Bell & Rosses. Then eventually he's like, that fucking fat bastard Ali, I don't want to hear him ever talk about Bell & Ross again. So thank you very much for the super chats and the race entries, folks.
Yeah, I still love my Bell & Ross. So I'm just in Bell & Ross.
You should have stopped at the Fog of Hublot.
I mean, so one of my friends says, if we all didn't have our own taste, we'd all drive these little white cars, and nobody would be able to tell their cars apart, right? So
you apparently have not paid any attention to the government fuel standards, because that's exactly what we do now. Yeah. We all drive the same shaped cars.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I'm not tuned into all that, but no, so, I mean, I just was never wearing them.
We were after the 2 hour mark, Blake, so I apologize. I want to do a last call on the race. We got about a minute call on the race. I want to give Patrick an opportunity, since we're wrapping up the show. Patrick, if there's anything you want to highlight for the audience other than the fact that you have no high beat.
I actually, I don't think I do. But I have nothing to do anything about. I've took last week off from making videos. I need to do my state of the collection, but my house is too noisy to do it. So too much family, too many kids running around. But Blake, in your defense, I absolutely love the Alan Silverstein Bell & Ross diver. I was going to pull the trigger on it when it was brand new, except I swore the prices would come down. I just haven't seen the prices come down. But when it comes down to $1,000 or so, I'm going to buy it. But
one of the rare Bell & Rosses that does appreciate.
Mm-hmm. So as I said, because everyone tried to talk me out of it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. It'll come down. And
we were talking about this
really
watch.
Hasn't.
Yeah. This is the
diver version, because there's a couple of them. The diver, that bezel is pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually have a
diver version.
I have a really good relationship with them, and so I thought, like, here's my, I will get another Bell & Ross. You know, just not sure if, when, or how, or if I'll wear it, but I think I'll get another one. So you guys can shit on me again later.
I'll have to wait for you to get another Bell & Ross to shit on me.
Yeah.
Well, Okay. I'm sure it'll be sooner.
This is interesting. I still hate it. But it is one of the more interesting Bell and Rosses I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I
But
know the $1,916.
$600.
Yeah. I know the 1916 company is holding on to two of them, and they keep putting them up and taking them down, and they're not actually selling. So maybe they'll take a discount, but I think they're asking exactly $5,600. So they're pretty much trying to sell them for purchase price.
Yeah.
Well, contact Caleb over at the 1960 companies and tell him to give you a discount.
Okay.
So we have to add Bubba Hotep to the race. And who do you want to add, Robert? We're going to add Nico because he came on the panel.
Sure. We'll put Nico in there.
Noctua.
Yeah, let's do the.
Wait, did I spell that right?
I believe so, yeah.
I hope I did.
And one last peso cannon from McLovin. Blake, no! No.
Well, at least I don't get shit on for at least a couple months now.
No,
Yeah.
somebody was just asking me, or Simon was on as well. It's like I want everybody to wear like what they like, and Bell and Ross, to me, at least hasn't. See, I don't have as much of a problem with Hublot as say Nico does. I don't have as much of a problem with Grand Seiko. I just disagree with Jen on we don't know if they're super reliable or revolutionary, right? Because even Yoshin Gambino said it. He said I'm right. Everyone he sells, people come back like within 6 months to try to sell. So I don't know that we actually have that. But Bremont to me, wasn't, as an example, wasn't true to their own brand. Like I have more of a problem with Bremont this past year than I do with Bell and Ross. Yeah. But it's certainly fun to make fun of you for the Bell and Ross because I just can. Bell and Ross, they are true to their brand. They are true to their heritage, and I'm okay with that. They didn't try to jump the shark like Bremont did this past year, and that actually bugs the hell out of me.
And honestly, the Bell and Ross stainless steel ones, the without the black coating or anything, they're finished really well. They're good looking watches if you get into that aesthetic. That's the thing. Yeah. You have to be into the aesthetic, but their finishing's good, movement's good. So they're a very nice watch. I wish they weren't quite as expensive as they are, at least retail. But you can get them at a good discount.
That's the problem people have with them. They look at the retail value versus what they trade for, or the intrinsic value, what people will pay for them, and there's a huge variance. Same thing for Hublot. And something about Bell and Ross that I will say is their support. Like if you ever have an issue with them, their after sales team, the CEO.
Blake, hold on. Don't go all 40-year-old virgin on us, man.
No,
I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
But they're just good people. They're good people. They're really passionate about what they do, and it really shows, especially when you get to spend like real FaceTime with those people. So I'll leave it at that.
I don't think they'll let me. I don't think they'll let me anywhere close to them.
They will. They will.
So Resonance watches. Okay. I have recently had some conversations with them, but I think Blake has an actual relationship with them. So Blake, do you want to answer this, or do you want me to answer this?
I have zero relationship with Resonance, but I would love to. I would love to have a relationship with them, but I cannot answer this.
Cool watches, very expensive.
They are very cool. They do not have in-house manufacturing capability, and to manufacture what they need in the volumes that they need, and the fact that they are all off the beaten path and they are geared and whatnot costs a fair bit of money. Just even if you were, let's say you were trying to manufacture a custom watch case, it will be significantly more expensive unless you hit ridiculously big volumes, right? And they're just not at that point. There is the designs are actually fairly complicated, and then there's a fair bit of overhead for the warranty and services that are built in, which is very common with a couple of other brands. Like some other brands people will say they're just priced too high, but they don't consider that the brand is factoring in the fact that they have to keep spare parts for something that's totally unique. They're the only people that can service it. So they're early in that curve of trying to cover their tail end without going under, which their pricing is smart in that regard, but it is certainly painful. They have the two new time-only options. They're trying to move down, and they're to have different suppliers for those two time-only options, but time will tell, no pun intended, if that will
they're
work.
cool. They're cool watches. I mean, Kurt and I were
They're
both
very
at an
nice.
event
They're
together.
very nice.
When we saw him in person for the first time, at least first time I had seen him in person. I'm not sure about Kurt, but they're very, very, they're gorgeous watches.
I really do like them, and I would seriously, if I was in a different financial situation right now, I would seriously consider some of their offerings. They're really beautiful. I thought initially I just would hate them, but especially that new 39 millimeter, the time only options they just released. I haven't
seen that one yet in person. The one we saw was the little larger oil filled, which gives it the oil fill gives it a really interesting look as far as when you look at the dial at the face of the watch. It looks really interesting. Yeah, see, that's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, these are 39 millimeter time only. We got GMT joining us because we said oil, and he thought we were talking about something else.
Yeah.
Listen. I've been having like standing nightmares listening to Blake talk about his Hublot, right? Look, can I tell you something? If there was no signs for you to get rid of that watch, I could understand, right? But what the fuck, bro? He just showed you a sign as soon as you put it in the shower with you. You weren't even in the fucking water. Why the fuck would you keep it?
No, I mean, like I said, I bought the cheapest one. I knew what I was getting myself.
Doesn't matter. No, you didn't. You didn't know about that.
I
did not know.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
you knew it was gonna fuck up.
No, I budgeted when I bought
There's
it.
a sign for you to get rid of that piece of shit. Sorry, I had to say that.
I budgeted when I bought it the spa treatment at Hublot, right? So, yeah, I mean, Jen and I talked about this, and yeah, I that's the only reason why I took it apart, because I was going to send it back to Hublot anyways, and I budgeted for that when I bought it. So, did I know it wouldn't pass a pressure test? I did not know that, but but how many dealers that sell secondary watches actually pressure test their watches before they send them? Like probably none. So
probably none.
So yeah,
$10.
How many dealers celebrate? How many dealers celebrate when they sell them? Probably all of them.
Well,
that is.
It's going to be arguable because he's stuck with $3
GMTs. GMT is not. That's true. Oh my god,
he's on fire.
Do you think he's going to sell 3 Bell and Rosses before he can sell 1 Hublot?
This
now that's probably
dealer
true.
is catching. This dealer's catching strays. They have no fucking idea what happened.
I know, right?
He's a good guy.
$10 super chat from Chalk Flew Up. Enjoying the show all. Thank you, sir. We're enjoying bringing it to you. And $2 Canadian. Thanks for the entertainment from McLovin. So
and to Kurt's point, we've overextended our welcome. We are now 2 hours and 17 minutes in.
Yep.
So we are going to run the race. We have 4 entries that rolled over from the last show. So Dear Artifact, Gary the Gangster, the Magpie, and Mystery GMT rolled over. We have 17 total entries for today's race, and we are doing the reindeer.
Oh. Yay!
Ooh.
We're going to drop the volume a little bit. We're going to give it a shuffle, and let's go.
They're off, and everybody's lined up so far. And nobody's really making a big move. Chalk Flew Up is in the lead right now. Mr. GMT looks like he's in second, along with Hot Watcher. Got JJ's Mold coming in fourth. Bipolar Bear is starting to move up. But Chalk Flew Up still in the lead, but you know what that means. It means any minute now, somebody's going to be running in from the back. Wow, that music's loud for me.
Well, they go wire to wire.
Here we go.
Oh, shit.
Bubba Hotep wins it. Bubba Hotep turned on his red nose and is flown away, ladies and gentlemen.
This is adorable.
Thank you. It is, isn't it? So cute.
That's Bubba on his way to Vegas.
We love it.
now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Bubba, thank you. Congratulations. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on this evening. We had a wonderful time with everybody. We hope you will be with us next Tuesday night, of course. And also, I think, I know we'll do a Friday stream. Not sure of anything in between today and Friday, but just kind of watch out for your YouTube notifications. If you could, please upvote on your way out if you haven't done so already. And please, on Friday when they stream next, consider joining the channel if you're not already a member. That would be fantastic. And I mean, even Cap comes on right there at the end to present himself and his presence again with us. Thank you,
and
guys.
I'm going to take us out tonight, Robert.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Have a great night.
Yeah.
You want to irrigate the vine as much as possible, right? You want to give it all the moisture it needs. But actually, that will make a plump, fat, flavorless grape.
100%. They just steal your business, and then they, you're just cannon fodder for them. I've given Curly a Christmas present. You use my shit in the new year, I'm going to complain to YouTube, Curly. The free ride is over, Fatso. The free ride is over, Curly. It's over. And
Toyota Moa, I love taking pictures of my watches in puddles of water. We got a lot to say about that tonight because we're talking water resistance.
Let me get a shout out to producer Michael and Luxie. Hold on 1 second. Get this right. There we go, boys. That's how you do it.
Stop provoking a fucking dragon.
buy the fucking Rolex. Buy the fucking Rolex. Get a bloody Rolex. Rolex. I mean, seriously, you've got to buy the fucking Rolex. Rolex.